2 people. Please hit the like button, guys. Whoever you are. Up Tia Fireball and Michael Hensley. What's going on, Michael? How you doing, brother? Tia Fireball, always good to see you. Let's hope this is like the last several shows have been, and maybe we'll get an audience real quick. You know, we won't have to wait long because that's how it's been happening. Yeah, Victor. And I didn't feel like doing one of these today, bro, but I'm waiting on something anyway, so I figured I'll just kill a little time doing this. Hasn't been the greatest day, you know, hasn't been the worst either. 6 people. All right. Well, hit the like button, whoever you are. Please jump into the chat whenever you feel like it. But definitely hit that like button. You must do that. Oh, no, that's all right. It's just, you know, life. Same old bullshit. You know, everybody has the same problems pretty much. Oh, God, I hope it doesn't take long. I already want to bail. Victor Falls, you watch Dominic Sicali? Michael, you see that? What Dominic said about the ice thing? $15 people, please hit the like button. MAGA loves Satan. Yes, they do. They do. Oh, Dominic. Oh, you don't listen to Dominic? Well, Dominic Sicali's one of the mob guys on MobTube, and he oh yeah, Michael. He went off. I mean, he didn't, you know, disavow Trump in any way, but he was talking about those ICE agents that killed Alex Preddy. He really kind of snapped. I was surprised. He was not happy about that. You know, MAGA slags are some nasty gizzards. Wow, I've never heard 2 of those words before. Oh, gizzards, I've heard. Chicken gizzards. I eat those. 21 people, please hit the like and subscribe for the love of God. Donald J. Trump is the worst president of all time. Gregory Farrell. Those words warm my heart. He is. He truly is the worst. There's not even a close second. Bananas and rice, dude. Bananas and rice. Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean, train addict? Oh, shit. 39 people. Please hit the like button on your way in. There we go. Kevin Grove. First gay comment from a Trump supporter. You need to prove how he is bad. You cannot disprove the negative. Okay. There's a whole list going back to his early life. You want me to start with that? Hillary Clinton is Satan, not Trump. You're YOUR all deranged, brainwashed leftist sheep. Yeah, sure. Except everything you'd say about Hillary is completely made up. The rest of the world is laughing at the U.S. for having the president that you have. I know. And I don't blame them. I don't. Believe me, half of this country is laughing at the other half because of the president we have. That's Somalian IQ working hard here. There you go. Another guy that has Somalians on the mind. They are good at programming you guys, man. They are. No, train addict, no. Bananas and rice, dude. Bananas. No, I have no idea. Well, yeah, Kevin Grew, because pickles. Yeah, of course. Because you guys are always coming in here with gay shit. So he's just not that smart. Who? Trump? Putin, maybe he runs the U.S. Oh, yeah, he does. I'm sure you will be applauded that children are getting free $1,000 Trump accounts. Certain zip codes are getting $12.50. Autumn Fragrance, I don't know that that's true yet. I don't know that that's official. All applaud, you said. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. But believe me, there's something behind that too that'll somehow benefit them. They're not just doing that to help kids. They would never do that. They would never do that. So believe me, there's something bad behind it. Thank you, Jason Simmons. What did Hillary do? What, as far as being evil? They'd have to tell me. I don't know. Typical lefty throwing around homophobic slur. What homophobic slur did I use exactly? LOL, the Russian bots are obvious. Epstein pimped Melania. I like that. He did. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Very, very important. And, throw in a super chat if you don't mind. The super chat button's at the bottom. At least if you're one of the good guys and you want to support the good work I do, so I keep doing it. Please contribute to the show that way. It is extremely helpful, and, well, we can't really do it without it. That way, let me just throw this in the chat, too, in case anybody decides they want to use it. Here you go. Be like every other YouTube live stream. Why do libtards love criminals? I don't know any libtards. I don't know. I'm not sure. You have to ask one of them. Benghazi isn't made up of even soldiers that survived. Have specifically said she left them to die and then blamed it on some. Who are you talking about, Keith Baker? You talking about Hillary? Wait, what did you say? Specifically said she left them to die? I'm no expert on Benghazi, but I could pretty much assure you she didn't say that. That's totally different, Scott Reinhardt, than what Trump did even in his first term. And I know you don't know that, but it is. There's differences between what they did. And who's defending that? Who's even defending that? I don't like it at all. Trump has done, but can you guys, Scott, is there any way you could defend Trump without saying Obama or Biden? I'm curious. Trump has donated 5 to 10 million. That is known, but unverified. It could be more. Donated it to who? What do you mean he donated 5 to 10 million? Why would the Russians be botting you? No substance, just sitting there with your empty head. No, because most of the people in these chats and on social media and comment sections and stuff that, are MAGA fucktards are bots. That's actually been proven. Oh, thanks, man. All you need to do is watch these videos in Minnesota. Yeah, of course. Trust me, the videos you've seen of Minnesota are a lot different than the ones I've seen. Because they won't show you what is actually going on. They'll just show you, it's just like they did like Oregon, for example. There was nothing going on there. Trump sent the National Guard in, and it was because he's an asshole who takes all his cues from Fox News. And Fox News showed a video of a riot that was going on there during the George Floyd thing, and Trump thought it was just happening last year. So, to believe Trump is the devil is to tell us all that you still think CNN and MSNBC tell us the truth. Is to tell us that you still think CNN and MSNBC tell us the truth. JFed, first of all, I don't watch CNN or MSNBC, but I will tell you this. They are far more truthful, even in their bullshit, than Fox News is. I mean, for you guys to mention those two and you don't mention Fox News, even though there's been studies done on this, and they've said that out of all the news networks, cable news, all that, if you watch Fox News and only Fox News, you're actually less informed than people that watch no news at all, because everything they're telling you is bullshit. So for you to say that knowing you watch Fox News is fucking hilarious. Anyone here going to watch the Melania documentary? No one anywhere is. You see, in the UK, they sold like 3 tickets. Hillary is a murderer. No, she's not. It's just something you say. Can't prove it all. You just say it. There's no difference. He put children in cages in the port. No, yes, there is. There's differences in things. I know you don't believe that, Scott Reinhardt. Everything is one way or the other. There's no middle ground, but there are differences. And you think he deported over 10 million. Even though he didn't deport over 10 million, he deported 4 million. You see how you guys do that? You see how you come in here and you just say shit with no facts to back it up, no research whatsoever. Just like when you say Hillary's a murderer, which is nothing but a conspiracy theorist thing, the fucking lunatics say. You think that Biden deported over 10 million, and he didn't, which goes to show that, like I said, you guys don't actually do any research. You just say whatever feels good. You're the most emotional people on earth, and it's all about vibes to you. Trump is just a puppet for real rich people to allow him to hang out as long as he does what they say. Yeah, well said. Well said, Stan. I didn't say Hillary isn't guilty. I said Hillary didn't say what he said she said. You're a living brain donor. False witness is a death sentence. Gotcha. Don't know what your living brain donor means, but all right. Well, for December 2025, the U.S. annual inflation rate, CPI, was around 2.7%. That's good. Well, I mean, it was 3% when Biden left office. So, you know what I mean? And Victor, just up till about a month ago, it was 3%. Trump is not healthy enough to make a 28 run off the table. Even Trump knows that. Oh, yeah. I don't even worry about that. Like when he talks about it now and shit. First of all, it wouldn't happen anyway. They can't do that. But even when there was a time where I thought, Jesus, maybe they'll figure it out. Trump ain't going to live to 28. There's no question. He's on his way out. Yes, he did to Israel. I'll just say yes. Did you see the one with the nurse from January 12th? See, Train, what do you mean when you say, did I see the one? The what? What are you talking about? Did I see the one? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Hasn't been proven. We found all those Indian accounts spamming the identitarian rhetoric. It's been proven. It's bots from all over the world. You haven't seen the bot farms and all that stuff? ICER heroes, Trump has put more food and gas in my truck than any president to Bush one. How did Trump do that? Because Trump has nothing to do with the price of oil, right? For the most part. I mean, he hasn't done anything during this term to change anything as far as gas prices. It's just the way things go. Gas prices go up, they go down, And we were producing record amounts of oil under Biden. So, if Biden was still in office, the fucking prices would be where they are now. I don't have to get paid other than YouTube. You know how much you can make on here? No, I wasn't. Terry Jones, bro, listen, man. Terry, I know that you guys are like, you toe the party line. Like everything to you guys is okay. It's either right or wrong based on who's doing it. Tom Homan, to me, is the biggest jerk off on planet Earth. The guy can't even speak, for fuck's sake. I don't care if Obama put a fucking medal on him or not. Tom Homan is a jerk off. I don't worship Obama. You worship Trump. You know that, right? I mean, look at this guy.
Look, it's very Smith. I've noticed in the media, a lot of them don't have criminal histories. Well, a lot of gamers don't have criminal histories.
What the fuck did Mushmouth say? Oh my God. How much does the Dem Party pay you for this podcast? Robert, sometimes I wonder what it's like to live in the head of one of you guys. You know what I mean? Because you've all really been convinced. None of you are critical thinkers, not a single one. That's why many of you are very super religious and stuff like that. But when you say stuff like that, you know that this is just how you've been programmed. Fox News tells you every day, because God forbid, dear leader is wrong or anything like that. Can't be, right? So they convince you guys, and you convince yourselves too, that if anybody's protesting the guy that you've convinced yourselves, the whole world loves, then they must be paid. It's all, people are getting paid. If anybody speaks out against them, they must be getting paid. Robert, I've been to No Kings rallies. I've done these streams. Nobody's paying me. I wish somebody would, so this is stuff you're told. It's just like how you're told that we don't know the difference between a man and a woman and all that other horse shit. It's just stuff you're told because you're being robbed blind by the people you voted for, and they don't want you to know it. You know what I mean? So they just simply, they tell you all this crazy shit about us, and you believe it because you're stupid. Yeah, Lance, but still, I fucking hate it. So you want more women and little girls killed and raped by BYE illegals and can't say what a woman. Yeah, I can. A woman is anybody who is born with female reproductive organs, you stupid ass. And bi is spelled BY in that context. Okay. And tell me how many women have been raped and killed by illegals. Tell me the actual numbers, because this is just you. Again, we're convinced that the illegals are running around killing and raping women. You have no numbers to back it up. You have no nothing. And the one name you'll bring up is Laken Riley. And if Laken Riley was killed by a white supremacist or some domestic terrorist, you wouldn't give two shits about her. You just invoke her fucking name. So you could talk bad about illegals. Meanwhile, you support a guy who's covering up for the most prolific pedophile ring in history, and he's a part of it, and you have no problem with that. The one thing I'll never let you guys get away with is acting like you care about other human beings, especially women and children, because you do not. You do not. You hate everybody. You guys are fucking miserable. Yeah, I already asked that question. I hate Homan in general. If Obama took office in 28 and Homan worked for him, I'd still hate Homan. Guys, we don't think like you. Oh my God. If Trump came on here today and told you Jeffrey Dahmer was a great guy, you guys would all be talking in chats for the next 6 weeks about what a great guy Jeffrey Dahmer was. That's who you are. We are not like that. We're not cult members. I don't give a fuck about any politician, period. Not Obama, not Biden, nobody. I don't care. I don't have proof of what? No, I don't have to read minds. I know you guys. You guys are all the same. I mean, it's very simple to figure out. I mean, you're cult members. All cult members are alike. You know what I mean? I don't know, ETA, and you already know this. You're just doing this to break balls. When you say still no proof, if you think I know what you're talking about, you're out of your fucking mind. No proof. That's 3 words to me. That's what it is. Still no proof. That's all it is. I have no idea what proof you're looking for, because again, you're a fucking retard who puts comments like that in the chat instead of saying still no proof of, and then mentioning the thing you're looking for proof for. Stupid. You know, Trump is the pedo in chief. He is. Yeah, D-Dubs. Yep. Yeah, it's another thing Fox News told you. Yeah, I'm in a basement. Meanwhile, the funny part is you're probably in a basement. Biden had 4 years to release the Epstein files, and Trump has had 5. How come Trump didn't do it? How come Trump didn't do it? Okay, it simply isn't. Prove to me that it is. You made the accusation, fuckface. The burden of proof is on you. Let me see. I don't believe in the devil either, but if there is one, it's Donald Trump. You called yourself a dumbass. No, I didn't. You just don't understand words. I'm not a liberal. Oh yeah, how'd I contradict myself? What's your evidence for anything? What would you like evidence for like the existence of gravity or something? What evidence are you looking for? Again, you guys have to learn. There's 327 fucking people in the comments, in the chat. Guys, you're not that important. I'm not looking at all the comments. I'm not. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Jennifer, I won't say your full name because that's obviously not a good idea, but $20 for love your channel. Thank you, Jennifer. Nobody ever uses the Cash App here. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. 247 people, everybody, please hit the like and subscribe. It's very, very important. Yeah, okay, go ahead. I don't give a fuck about any of you. I honestly don't. I don't care. You may not believe in the devil, but he believes in you. Yeah, okay. You speak gossip, slander, door, a purpose. You get nothing better to do, tough guy. To are too proud to see truth, plain, simple. You are blind. God bless you. Jesus Christ, Mauricio. Ooh, is English like your 4th language? And it's all in capitals. And look, it's a mixture of capitals and lowercase, like the psychopath that he is. He's probably in a rubber room right now in a fucking straitjacket. I am bricked the fuck up right now. Oh, where is Trump evidence for all this shit he be saying or his proof? I think you're on the right side. I just think that wasn't well said. Trump is not the devil. We are fighting powers. And what did that say? Oh man, the chat is flying, guys. I can't even fucking see the comment now. Yeah, it's not letting me. I lost it. Would you rather Kamala? Oh my God, Kamala, a banana, Big Bird, my 13-year-old stepson, a frog. Anybody would be better than Trump. And when you guys say that, guys, let me tell you something. There's certain things about you guys that it's like a flashing red sign that you're stupid without you even like you don't think you're saying much, but just a few words out of you is such a shining example. It's such a, I'll say a good indicator of your lack of intelligence. Like, listen, I know that you guys have been convinced to believe that Kamala's a drunk, even though there's no evidence she ever had a drinking problem and she's never been seen drunk. You guys have been convinced. And by the way, I don't care about Kamala, but I hate when people lie on people. I stand up for Trump when people lie on him too, as much as it makes me sick. You believe that she sucked her way to the top. You believe that she can't string a coherent sentence together, even though I could play you right now the debate where she mollywopped Donald Trump to the point where you guys were so butthurt about it that you had to make up a lie that she was wearing a fucking earpiece, which of course she wasn't. And I debunked that myself when I actually did a video showing the exact earrings she was wearing, and the earpieces that matched those earrings that you said she was wearing were only a prototype and they were never even released on the market. Okay. So you guys have been convinced of all this stuff, but I'm gonna give you a shocking dose of reality right now. You ready for this? Okay. So I happen to know a lot about these people, a lot more than any of you ever will, because you don't research or learn. You're incapable of learning. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. 467 people. So Donald Trump is a kid. Let me explain. He grew up in Queens, okay? New York City, where you guys hate everybody from New York City. You red state motherfuckers, you know, but somehow you've learned to love this guy. He's a Queens guy like myself, right? He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was born to a dad who was just about a billionaire. From the early 70s, he started getting wealth transferred to him to the point where in today's money, it was about $412 million by 1997. He learned everything he did from his dad. He was no innovator. He was no self-made man. Even projects when he hadn't been given all that money yet, he just took huge loans, $60-70 million from his father, stuff like that. Of course, he convinced you he only took $1 million loan, but that's bullshit because all that can and has been researched. The guy was in 1972 was sued by Nixon's Justice Department for refusing to rent to black people in his buildings. He would tell his building managers, if a black person applies for an apartment, put a C in the corner of the application for colored so we know not to rent to them. And he settled that lawsuit. He then cheated on every wife he had, including his current one, with a porn star. And he got convicted of 34 felonies for covering up a hush money payment to that porn star so she wouldn't tell the voters of America that he had an affair with her behind his current wife's back while she was at home with their newborn. Okay. He crushed small businesses to enrich himself his whole life. He looks down upon the working man. He stiffed union workers like crazy. He had 6 bankruptcies and failed at 90% of his business ventures. Okay. He, the fucking guy was accused of raping Katie Johnson in 2013. Or I mean, in 1996, I'm sorry, accused of raping Katie Johnson when she was 13. That's what I meant to say. Okay. With Jeffrey Epstein. He was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 10 years. He's in videos, photos. He once said that Jeffrey Epstein is a great guy to hang out with. And it's even said he likes beautiful women as much as me, meaning Trump. And many of them are on the younger side. Okay. All right. He's been credibly accused of sexual assault 27 times since the 1970s. He was found civilly liable for sexually assaulting E.G. and Carol. He was twice impeached. Okay. And by the way, his biggest accomplishment, because even his school, his dad bought his grades. His dad paid for his grade. His professor said he was the dumbest kid in the fucking school. He wasn't a good student. He's not smart by any stretch of the imagination. He had a billionaire father. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. There's 515 of you. Please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe because I got a goal. But also send super chats and cash apps if you can so I could keep doing these shows because I thoroughly enjoy them. And I'm assuming a lot of you do too. I don't want anything from MAGA, just the good guys. Just the good guys. Anyway, that's Trump's life in a nutshell. Okay. His biggest accomplishment was reality TV show host. Before that, slumlord business failure. Okay. Kamala Harris came from nothing. She went to Howard University. She graduated. She became a prosecutor. After that, every position she was elected to. She was elected to district attorney. She was elected to attorney general. She was elected to U.S. senator, and she was elected to the vice presidency. She is, on her worst day, 1,000 light years smarter than Trump will ever be. I mean, the comparison is so asinine. It's been studied by linguists. Trump speaks on a third grade level. He's a fucking retard. He truly is. He is. And you guys are like, what do you think? Kamala would have been better? Yes. Yes. Right now, we got people losing health care. We got tax breaks for billionaires while poor people's taxes go up. We got another looming shutdown. Okay. We got the Epstein files being blocked by one of the pedophiles who's in them. Did I mention we got people being shot in the head on the street for nothing whatsoever? I think I did in the beginning. Okay. And if Kamala was in office, we would have got a child tax credit of $6,000. She was going to expand that. We would have gotten even cheaper prescription drug prices. She was going to follow through with that. New home buyers would get $25,000 towards a new home. New business owners would get, or small business owners would get $50,000 towards starting up a small business. You know, all this good stuff. And yeah, at the very least, it would have been the same old thing. And I know that's what scares you guys, the same old thing, but it's a hell of a lot better than this horse shit. A hell of a lot better. And you guys don't realize that, again, because you're stupid. And I'm not just saying that because I don't like you. It's a fucking fact. You come from the dumbest states, the least educated states in America. They're last in education, last in healthcare, and highest in poverty. And you know why? Because you keep voting fucking Republican. You live in the shittiest shithole states in America. And that's what voting Republican gets you. And you keep doing it. You vote against your own best interest every election for like 50 fucking years now. And you still haven't figured out that you ain't getting ahead. You're only getting the richest people in this country further ahead. It's amazing. Nothing makes a fucking MAGA, illiterate MAGA fucktard happier than a billionaire getting another tax break. Meanwhile, you make 29 grand a year and can barely afford to feed yourself. Sabrina Merrick, $2. MAGA needs to get hooked on phonics. Oh, Sabrina, I'm telling you. The dumbest fucking people I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry. I don't like to be that blunt about it. Sometimes I tell myself, be more polite. Don't just bash people and insult people. But then I see the shit you talk and it's like, how could you not? You're so fucking hateable. Everything you come in these chats and say is always some hate-filled bullshit about liberals or about trans people or gay people or black people or Muslims or Mexicans. I mean, there's not a happy bone in any of your bodies. You're the most miserable motherfuckers on the planet. You're like those get off my lawn, like Archie Bunker type of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And you're miserable because you're too stupid to vote in your own best interest. You've been doing damage to yourself for 5 decades and you're doing it to us too, unfortunately. You know? So there you go. Jay Owen, full $5. If the Second Amendment were a D hoax, then Mitch McConnell, who led the vote to acquit, would have said so in his closing remarks after voting to acquit. Second Amendment was what, a Democrat hoax? I didn't even know about this conversation, but oh, I'm sorry, bro. I can't read. I'm sorry, guys. I've been having an off day all day. You should have seen my last live stream. The second impeachment. If the second impeachment was a D hoax, then Mitch McConnell, who led the vote to acquit, would have also said so in his closing remarks after voting to acquit. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know where I saw Second Amendment in there, but yes. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't. It wasn't a hoax. But you got to understand, anything that happens to Trump, it's got to be a hoax because they can't admit that he's wrong. They can't do it. It kills them inside, the very thought of it, because he is their entire identity. They're nothing without him. They're nothing with him either, by the way. But I mean, in their own minds, they're big shots. You hear the way they talk, like, we run everything. The people you voted for, yeah, and you are not one of the people that runs anything. You guys are the least powerful people in the entire fucking country. The poorest people, you're the least educated people, and you vote for these dummies who despise you just for being poor, just for being a working person or middle class. They despise you. Donald Trump hates you with a fucking passion. He just needed you for his vote. He said that in North Carolina once. I don't care about any of you. I just need your vote. Straight faced, he said it. And of course, you guys being who you are, you were like, no, he must have been joking. No. Every now and then he tells the truth. And that was one of those rare times. 1968, Wingnut, $5. Don't forget Roy Cohen's influence. Oh, I know. I mean, that motherfucker, one of the biggest scumbags on the planet. Yeah. That's what I think Mark Cuban said it one time. Donald Trump went to the Roy Cohen school of bullshitting or something like that. Something along those lines. Yes. Yeah. How many successful businesses have you started? One. I had a successful business for 7 years, and I ended it simply because I was having an issue in my life that made it pretty much impossible for me to continue on with my business. But I'm not a businessman. Do you understand that? Like, you guys are so dumb. You're like, how many businesses have you started? I'm not a businessman. I'm a fucking YouTuber. Ask Mark Cuban. Ask somebody like that. How many? Ask Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. Ask them how many businesses they've started. They're businessmen. You understand? You guys are so fucking dumb. It's like if I talk shit about a mechanic and you say, well, how many transmissions have you changed? I don't know how to. I'm not a mechanic. The fuck are we talking about here? It was never my thing, but my business I had was extremely successful. I was making 6 figures a year at 22 fucking years old. And I was simply, if you knew what I did for a living, believe me, it couldn't have been more enjoyable and taken less time. So, but I'm not a businessman, bro. I can certainly critique a failed businessman without being a successful businessman. Jesus fuck. You guys are so funny. Everything's about freedom of speech till you hear something you don't like. Rampage Steve. We'd have been better with no one as president instead of Trump. If these maggots take their head out his ass, they'll be able to see it for themselves. Rampage Steve, thank you, first of all, for donating. It really means a lot to me because not many people donate on here. And it encourages me to do more of these shows. So thank you. I'll look at more. Damn. Aaron. I don't know how to say that, so I'm just going to say Aaron. $5. I gave up on politeness when my MAGA father tried to argue that illegal immigrants don't have a right to due process. There you go, man. Thank you also for donating. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, they don't even understand. You got to understand, they don't know anything. They don't. They really don't. Neither does their leader. Donald Trump, his advisors, his closest advisors said when they would have him in meetings and they would try to explain the Constitution to him, he would fall asleep. Did you see what he did today? He had to rush along the cabinet meeting because he knew he'd fall asleep again like he did in the last one. He can't even stay awake anymore. But yeah, he doesn't know the Constitution. He couldn't point out North America on a world map. Guarantee it. He's a dope. He's a fucking dope. That's why he says the most ridiculous shit. This guy comes out and tells you dummies that he's going to lower prescription drug costs by 1,500%. And you believe him. It's mathematically impossible. He lies to your faces every day. Your faces. We already know he's lying. We don't expect to hear the truth from him. You guys do. So he will stand there and lie right to your face and make complete fools out of you because you'll turn around, take that lie, and then go present it to everybody like as if it's a certified fact. You know? It's so funny. The fact that you people exist is, I would have never, the scariest part about MAGA is that we just found out about 10, 11 years ago that these people have been living amongst us for all these decades, you know, and we just didn't know it till they started putting those red hats on. And boy, we will never forget it now. But it is amazing that you know, people who are generally somewhat intelligent and are good people and have compassion and sympathy and empathy and all that stuff can live on the same planet as you animals. I mean, it is unfucking believable. It's a shame it has to be that way. It really is. J. Owen Full, $2. Can you roll that video? Oh, which one, bro? Hold on. Let me go up to your other comment. Let me see. Or your super chat. Because I probably can. Hold on. Did somebody just say we know you can't read while I'm reading the chat? Brilliant. J. Owen Full. Where is this? I'll just go up here. Second. Oh, you talking about the Mitch McConnell video? If that's the one you want to see, I could look it up. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, though, but thank you for the $2, brother. The former criminal regime could have released the Biden files. See, here's what I mean. The criminal regime, except no crimes. Because you think Trump would just be letting it slide? Yeah, right. He'd put Biden in jail in 2 seconds if he could. The Republican House Oversight Committee investigated every accusation made about Joe Biden. They cleared him of any wrongdoing. That's why they couldn't even impeach him, even though Trump was impeached twice. And you really don't know anything about the Epstein files. So for you to say who could do what, you won't even acknowledge. You'll bring up that Biden had the files, but you will not bring up that Trump did. How do you do that? What kind of mental gymnastics do you have to do to make it make sense in your head? Well, I'll just bring up that Biden didn't release them, even though Trump was in office for 4 years before Biden, and he didn't release them. And most importantly, let's just completely ignore the fact that it's Trump in office now. Let's live in the past. Forget about the present, where the guy in charge now is Donald Trump. And he's been in charge for what, going on 13 months now? He has complete and total access to the files. He is in charge. There doesn't need to be any law passed. We didn't need the Epstein Files Transparency Act. We don't need it. Judge's approval. Trump can say release every Epstein file right now, every document, and it would be released. But he refuses to. And now he's going to court trying to argue that the law he signed into law can't be used to force them to release the Epstein files. And you never say to yourselves, I wonder why Trump absolutely refuses to release these files. I wonder why. What could the reason be? He's a pedophile. J. Owen Full, $2. Mitch McConnell, closing remarks, second impeachment. Yeah, can I play it towards the end of the show, brother? I'm only saying that because I don't want to lose everybody yet. If I get boring for even 2 seconds here, everybody leaves. But yes, please remind me, and I will. Promise. And thank you again for donating. Can you tell me if the Democrats are the left wing of the U.S., yes or no? And can you tell me if Hitler was a socialist, yes or no? You ignorant idiot, please. Blow me. Fuck you. See, that's all you got. You want to come in here with insults. I talk shit to you guys because from the second I start talking, you start calling me names and doing all that Trump type of shit. You know? Then when I do it to you, you bitch and fucking moan. Why are you calling us names? Let me see. You are the past being completely consumed, or you are past being completely consumed by. What the fuck is that? He's the president, right? Right. What are you? I'm a guy like you are, dummy, because I could ask you the same thing. You're very goofy people. You realize that, right? Like, what was I supposed to say to that? MAGA is dead. Yes. Well, hopefully. I would like for them to all actually die. 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, Tony Velez. I appreciate that very, very much. Did you go live with this when the deporter in chief Obama did go live with this? No, I wasn't on YouTube then. And guys, this is what I mean about you being, black and white type of people. In other words, it's either this or it's that. There's no in between. The way Obama deported people was 1,000 times different than how Trump is doing it. So just because Obama deported people and Trump is deporting people, it is not exactly the same. You understand that, right? There's differences. Holy shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely, Nick. Yeah. All you got. Yeah. Quote me on it. All you MAGA guys, the country would be better off if you all died. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Obama deported more. Well, we can't say more yet. I mean, he was deporting more people than Trump is now, but he deported 4 million over 8 years. We'll see what Trump does in 4, but yeah, there's a lot of people, but everybody he deported got fucking due process. Everybody, they got due process. It's different than what's happening now. Xanatos Gambit, is that how you pronounce that? $50. God damn. According to MAGA, you are grifting. So I have to donate to the grifting. So many MAGA are crying in the comments. They can't bring themselves to leave. It makes you worth this. Well, thank you, bro. $50 is beautiful. Thank you so much for that. It really helps the channel. It does. And I know, listen, anytime you're saying something people don't like, if you're getting money in any way, you're grifting. Even though they couldn't even define grifting for you. They couldn't even define grifting for you. Let me see. You got people mad, and I fucking love it. Demented music. Oh, I'm like I'm number one triggerer when it comes to these motherfuckers. I can make them lose their shit. Let me see. Oh, you must be talking to one of the MAGA people. So you're drifting right now since you're getting money. Drifting right now? What does that mean, bro? You can't define a woman. Yes, I can. Anybody born with female reproductive organs, and only anybody born with. You see how you guys don't know anything about me? You just say shit. I know, JGB. I love it. I fucking love it. Sure, Bob. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, my God. I do it every day. You guys are easy to trigger because you're the most emotional people in the world. You guys are very soft. I know you don't realize it, but you're very soft beta males. And I'll tell you how I know this, because every single one of you, if given the opportunity, would whip Trump's dick out and suck it in front of the whole world, because you are obsessed with another man, a man who doesn't give two shits about you. You will actually go to war and die for a guy who would never even shake your hand in public unless it was a photo op. You guys are the softest beta bitches on planet Earth. I think it's hilarious. I do. Yeah, I'm not even fat, stupid face, but whatever you say. They're so easy to manipulate. Very, very, very. I would give them the best head of my life. See? And you would whip your mom's dick out and you would suck your mom's dick because she says she's a woman when she is a man. Yeah, that wasn't good. You got to get better at this. If you want to try to come back at me with stuff, you got to get better at it. You're absolutely ignorant and you'd suck Biden's dick all day. No. First of all, I'd never suck a man's dick. I'm not gay, but Grindr crashes every time there's a huge Republican event somewhere. So the majority of the gay people are actually Republican, but there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. None whatsoever. But I don't give two shits about Biden. I have criticized Biden. I've criticized Obama. No problem. Guys, you don't understand. Let me tell you one of the biggest differences between us and you. If the Epstein files have Democrats in them, we want them to go to jail too. If they're in there for doing something wrong, we want them to go to jail too. See, you guys will let 1,000 pedos go free just so your fucking scumbag president doesn't get exposed. That's a cult. We're not like that. We actually stand for something. You know what I mean? You guys don't even stand for the fucking Second Amendment. It's hilarious. Now he's even talking shit about that. And you're like, yeah, no problem. No problem. Fuck the Second Amendment. The one thing I thought you actually stood for, you don't even stand for that. Can you even read? No, you've just been seeing me read comments this whole time, but no, I can't read. You never hold any of your politicians accountable. How do you know? What do you mean? I think Obama's drone program was fucking disgraceful. I think Biden was weak on the border, although he did try to fix it, and Trump made sure the Republicans shot it down because he needed the issue to run on. But he still could have done some executive order or something like Trump did. His brains were leaking out of his ears toward the end of his administration, but not any worse than Trump's are now. But I'll still criticize. I don't care, guys. I don't care. Let me explain something. You love Donald Trump. You love him like he's your father. Okay. You call him daddy. I have never even called my own father daddy, not even when I was 4. Okay. Never. I would never call another man daddy. You guys refer to him as daddy. You wait for him to do shit for you. Oh, please get rid of the big bad trans people. Get rid of the big bad Mexicans. They're taking my job. You guys have made the worst life choices of anybody in America. And because of it, because you ain't shit in life, you take it out on everybody else. Because God forbid you ever took responsibility for anything. You know, it's the libs' fault. It's the Mexicans' fault. It's the fucking, it's the black people's fault. It's the LGBTQ community. Everything in your guys' lives that is miserable is somebody else's fault. You're perpetual victims. Shame on modern ICE. The ICE officers I've worked with more than a decade ago were highly trained, competent officers. These new ones hired under Trump are insanely cruel, unqualified, and undertrained. Yeah, there was a guy who I was just watching. I forget which one it was, if it was Midas Touch or what the fuck it was. But they read a letter from a current ICE agent who was an ICE agent under Obama. And he's getting ready to blow the whistle on what's going on. And he said that it was literally a different agency when Obama was in office. Nothing was similar. Guys, these dudes are they're not even being trained correctly. You realize that. They cut the training down from 6 weeks to 4 weeks. These guys are criminals. A lot of these ICE agents are pardoned rioters from January 6th who assaulted police officers. There's a video last night about a guy named Joe Cerner. The fucking guy was caught 3 years ago trying to lure kids into a van, offering them candy and shit, and he's an ICE agent now. So, you know, it's anything. No, that's Trump. Trump actually spent his whole life looking for that. Forget it. I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, deputized Proud Boys. Oh, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's a bunch of criminals and shit that have been given badges, and now they're running amok. They're not trained correctly. Alex Preddy. Now, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. This is how you know I'm honest. That it'll piss people off on my side, I guess. But first of all, under no circumstances did Alex Preddy deserve to be killed. Okay, none. Because even if he did all the shit you guys try to say he did, you don't get the death penalty for that. Okay, but he didn't go for a gun because the gun was taken from him. The agent that shot him knew that because he saw another agent disarm him and literally run away with the gun. It was murder, flat out. But I'll also put some blame on him for one reason. Everybody has to know, white, black, purple, doesn't matter. Law enforcement will kill you in this country and get away with it every time. Cops will kill you in a heartbeat, and they are cowards. They are scared of every little fucking thing. I did a story on a cop a year ago who had somebody he arrested, whatever you call it, a suspect, in the back of his SUV. And when he was walking past his SUV, an acorn fell out of a tree onto the truck, and he shot the entire truck up. Even though the guy that was in the truck was handcuffed and restrained and couldn't have possibly been shooting at him. Okay. They are literally trained. Any little sound, anything, shoot, ask questions later. That's the fucking problem. But because of that, you have got to know. Don't. I'm not saying to be a pussy and don't stand up for women or anything. The guy was doing a noble thing, but you've got to know you're going to die when you do that. You've got to know. Because the bottom line is they will kill you. They will, and they'll get away with it. They have a license to kill. It's been proven a million times. And these guys will get away with this just like they always get away with it. I tell my friends this. Listen, I'm from a pretty rough area, okay? And I've got friends that spend a lot of time in the streets, so to speak. And I tell them all the time, guys, I don't give a fuck what a cop does. Fight them in court. Because when you start getting belligerent, you start arguing and blah, 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 the end result is going to be you dead in the street, and the cop that killed you is going to get a paid vacation, just like the guys that just killed Alex Preddy. So it's not worth it, guys. And let me tell you something, man. All the people that are going crazy out there protesting against ICE in favor of illegals and stuff, never go out of your way to defend people who would never defend you. Okay, that's the way I see it. I'm not knocking anybody. I think you're doing the right thing because ICE, they're horrible, disgusting individuals, and Trump is the devil. I'm just telling you that, you know, this guy had a good life and he threw it away because he chose to fight with the police. And I'm not saying he put up a fight, like a physical fight or anything, but I saw the video 11 days before he spit on an ICE agent. Listen, you are going to die. It's not about it being right or wrong. They have no right to kill you for even that. But if there's one thing that's been proven in this country, the worst crime you could commit is disrespecting a cop. And I know you'll say they're not cops. They're law enforcement. And they will kill you and they'll get away with it. So it's the same thing. Like Renee, disgusting. It was murder, flat out murder. She was not driving towards that cop. She did not hit that cop. It was all bullshit. But don't put yourself in that predicament because you're dealing with the biggest gang in the history of America. Okay? Law enforcement in general. And they're killers and they'll get away with it in a heartbeat. You won't win. Fight it later on. You know what I'm saying? In court somewhere. Because in the street, you're going to die every time. So I know that it might piss people off on my side, but I'm just being honest, guys. You got to put responsibility where it belongs, you know? It still is not the guy's fault he got killed. It's still not the woman's fault. But, you know, don't give them a reason. Don't give them a reason. Rampage Steve, Biden did fuck up the border. Yeah, no, I agree. But he tried to fix it, and Donald Trump shot it down. There was a bipartisan border bill. And the Republicans, it was bipartisan. They authored it with the Democrats. And they all agreed. They were all going to vote for this. And Donald Trump called them up and said, do not fix the border issue right now. It's an election year, and I need to run on that issue. So the border could have been fixed. And Donald Trump said no, because what you guys get is that he doesn't care about the border. The guy hired illegal immigrants his whole life to build his buildings. He just needed you guys to vote for him. That's it. So he played on your biggest fear, Mexicans. But they said it right here.
The problem is the Republicans, not the Democrats. We know how the Democrats are going to vote. It's too many of my Republican colleagues are unwilling to vote to secure the border.
First, there was an effort to make law, which requires you to deal with Democrats. And then our nominee for president didn't seem to want us to do anything at all. That took months.
Everybody who comes on this floor and says our border's broken, we should do something about it, you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, we didn't get there. President Trump opposed a Senate bill. We couldn't find a better way forward that would get 60 votes.
It was painful to be able to watch. It got stirred up in all the presidential politics, and several of my colleagues started looking for ways. After President Trump said, don't fix anything during the presidential election. It's the single biggest issue during the election. Don't resolve this.
That's on Donald Trump, Senator. Not Democrats.
Right.
There you go. And I'm looking through comments, and someone said, oh, no, I agree with you, Solo. Yeah. Someone said, you see this cop did something, so they're all that bad. That's the mentality of these people. Again, you're just putting words in my mouth. I never said they're all that bad. I said they're trained to be afraid of every little thing, and they are. They are. They will shoot you if you have a cigarette in your fucking hand. What are you going to do with a cigarette? Before they get a scratch on their knuckle, they will blow your fucking brains out. They're scared to death. They're trained to be. Every little thing is a threat. Everything. I watched them tell a black guy who worked in a school cafeteria for a living, had no criminal record, had a license to carry. Give me your wallet. The guy said, can I reach for it? Yes. As soon as he reached for it, the guy shot him and killed him. And he got away with it. He didn't even get indicted. He told the guy, give me your license. Can I reach for my wallet? Yes. Okay. So I'm telling you that it's just a dangerous game to play. And I'm not saying they're all bad, but you haven't been through what I've been through and certain other people too. I mean, I've been in situations with cops. You probably haven't. I got robbed by a cop. Okay. 2 of them actually. So I've seen them do crooked shit with my own eyes. I've seen them beat the shit out of people, over nothing. And I just know I'm not talking bad about all cops. I'm not. I've met some really good guys that actually care about people. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter if there's 1,000 good guys. All you got to do is come across the one bad one and he'll kill you. That's it. So never fight with the cops in the street. I'm telling you. And let me tell you something. For all you guys that don't believe in white privilege, let me tell you what white privilege is. You guys think, because you don't know nothing, you think that white privilege is, we had everything handed to us, we're privileged. No, it simply means you get the benefit of the doubt. And I'll show you proof. When you go on these YouTube channels and you see these white dudes who deliberately get pulled over by the cops so they can argue with them, and they're always armed and shit like that, and nothing happens, that's what people mean when they say white privilege. Because if a black person does that, they're going to kill them. Simple as that. There was a study done. They did this, well, not a study, an experiment they did on YouTube once. I watched this. They had a white guy walking down the street. I forget what state it was in the Midwest somewhere, with an AR-15 over his shoulder. After about 15 minutes, he's walking down the same street. A cop pulled up slowly, no lights on or nothing, gets out. Hey, how you doing today, buddy? What are you up to? Oh, nothing. Hey, I saw you're carrying the firearm. It's your right. I'm not trying to, violate your rights. I just wanted to know if I could maybe get your name so I could just check out you have no felonies, whatever. The white guy said no. And the cop said, okay, basically, and drove off. Okay. They then gave the AR-15 to a black guy and they sent him down the same street. And about 7 cops pulled up, lights flashing, screaming, guns drawn, get on the fucking ground, ripped the gun off his fucking shoulder, kept him there 20 fucking minutes, background checks, missiles, everything on him. People are treated differently in this country. They are. So that's my black friends. I tell them, bro, don't, I'm telling you, man, look at Sandra Bland. She got pulled over in Texas. The cop wasn't even being a dick. The cop just she changed lanes without signaling. The cop just wanted her fucking license. And she had a cigarette. And of course he told her, put out the cigarette because God forbid, he's in danger of a cigarette. She got belligerent. She wouldn't stop. She kept bitching and whining and pissing and moaning until finally the cop said, okay, now there's no more warning. Step out of the car. And then she started fighting with the cop and she got taken to jail and she wound up getting killed in jail. They killed her. That's why you don't fight those battles on the street. You can't win against them. You can't. Rampage Steve, $5. If Biden or Obama did any of the things Trump has done since January 20th, these Trump-tards would lose their mind. It's okay that Trump is doing it. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I mean, even the slightest thing. Guys, remember, what was I going to say? Oh, remember when Obama wore a tan suit? And the people who are now MAGA lost their fucking minds. Fox News for 6 months talked about it. They couldn't believe it. It was like, oh my God. It was literally called Tan Suit Gate. Obama wore a tan suit. They lost their shit. Could you fucking imagine if Biden or Obama or any Democrat ever did any of this shit, but especially Obama? Holy shit. Because the standard he was held to, he couldn't so much make a fucking mistake or he'd get crucified. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they were calling his kids monkeys. He was being attacked left and right. That's why when Trump says, no president's ever been through what I've been through, even though, you know, presidents have literally been assassinated, you know, he's out of his mind because Obama got tortured. And if he did any of this shit, man, any of this shit, they would have fucking removed him from office so fucking fast his head would have spun. Same thing with Biden. Yeah, she did. She was, I think she had, I don't know if it was bipolar or something. They showed a car accident she was in before that, and she was displaying some sort of mental issues. Yeah, and I'm not saying she deserved it. I'm just saying that's why you got to be careful because that's all it takes, man. These cops, they for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the way they were raised. I don't know if they were picked on when they were kids. I don't know if they have a wife that walks all over them when they're at home. I don't know what it is. But they go to work ready to kill some fucking buddy. And all you got to do is give them a reason. That's it. All you got to do is give them a reason. So don't give them a reason. How, Robert White? Tell me how. Tell me how we've lost our minds. Obama did what, Sugar Honey? Robert White, I bet you do. You're much more appalled by the Dijon mustard scandal. That too. You see what I'm saying? Oh my God. Just going back through some comments here. Yeah, I just hate law and order. Don't tell me I hate law and order. If you're a Trump supporter, you voted for a guy who got convicted of 34 felonies, and then you wore shirts that said I voted for the felon. You cheered on when he signed an executive order and pardoned 1,600 rioters who assaulted 140 police officers, like 3 or 4 of which died because of the injuries they sustained in that attack. You guys don't mind that he just pardoned the former president of Honduras who trafficked 400 tons of cocaine into our country. I mean, you don't care about the police. You don't care about the law. You just want to bring it up when you could use it against Democrats in some way. That's it. Yeah, right. 1 to 3 days. Look, even he said tan suit gate. At least you know it's what it was called. Let me see. Oh, shit. I lost everything. Hold on. Tan suit when at a military event was 1 to 3 days. Yeah, no, it wasn't. And what's wrong with him wearing a tan suit at a military event exactly? Because those charges were bullshit. Of course, Jordan, yeah, they were bullshit because you say so. They were bullshit because you love Donald Trump. If Biden got those same charges, you would act like he committed 34 counts of homicide. You would act like he's an arch criminal. You know you would. You know you would. But because it's Trump, they're bullshit. Meanwhile, you guys don't even understand the charges. Almost every show I do, I have to explain to you what the charges were. You still don't even get it. And if you know what the charges are, if you understand them and you saw the evidence, you know that 100% he committed these crimes. There is no question about it. No question. That's not true. We read this yesterday. Yes, they did. Yeah, one guy had a stroke because of injuries he sustained and he died. A guy got tased in the neck. They were beaten with flagpoles. They were pepper sprayed. And yes, one of them died from injuries that he sustained during the thing, 1 or 2, and the other 1 or 2 committed suicide very shortly after it happened. So what do you think that was? Just a coincidence? Thank you, J.O. in full. Yeah, guys, please subscribe, hit the like button, do all that if you can. And I want to thank you guys again for contributing. You guys that donate, that's awesome, man. It really means a lot to me. Well, upon reflection, let me ask you something. If I was doing a show about working on cars, would you come in here and say, do you have anything to talk about other than working on cars? Like, do you have any idea how fucking stupid you sound? I get asked that question every show. This show is about Trump. What should I be talking about? Gardening? What are you, fucking stupid? Do you have anything to talk about besides Trump? No, not on this show. This show is about Trump. That's what we're going to talk about. What do you mean? You talking about MAGA people? Judge clarifies, yes, Trump was found to have raped E. Jean Carroll July 19th, 2023. What the jury found Donald Trump did to E. Jean Carroll was, in fact, rape as commonly understood. Yes, absolutely. Do I even know what they are? Yes. 34 counts of falsifying business documents in order to cover up another crime. Okay. So the underlying crime was basically election interference. Okay. He was paying Stormy Daniels to keep it from the voting public. Okay. Remember how he said Kamala's edited video and every interview is edited. I have interviews when he was running where he said he wouldn't release the Epstein files and Fox News edited it to make it seem like he said he would. Okay. And that's fine. But Kamala's interview got edited a little bit for time and he said it was election interference. But this isn't, right? He paid $200 or $130,000, I think, to Stormy Daniels so she wouldn't tell the voting electorate that he had an affair with her behind his wife's back. Then that's a crime. Then he falsified documents 34 times to cover up that hush money payment. That's the case. Anyone who follows a strong man is the weakest people of all. They can be broken and molded easily by offering them a sense of superiority. Bro, well said. Lyndon B. Johnson said it perfect, the douchebag that he was. He said, if you could make the lowest white man feel better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down upon and he'll empty his pockets for you. It's the truth. You know, they get mad at me. Maybe it sounds mean, but I don't beat around the bush. I call it how it is. The majority of these diehard, not all Trump supporters, the diehard MAGA base, they're people from the middle of nowhere who've never really been anything in fucking life. And, they're not successful people. They've never had much. And the Republicans are experts at making them feel, the lowest white men, better than black men and Mexicans and anyone else who they decide to vilify in some way. You know what I mean? That's just how it is, so they'll vote for that every time. I mean, you could give them a list of policies that will affect them negatively, but tell them you're better than Mexicans and they'll vote just because you know what I mean? Just because you made them feel better than Mexicans. It's true. I mean, they don't, and he is their entire identity. That's why he will never, they'll never turn on him because he's their entire identity. If they admit he's wrong, they have to admit they were wrong, and they won't do that. MAGA is half the country, bro. Oh, yeah? What's the proof? Tell me the exact number of Trump supporters in the country. Even a roundabout figure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, Talia. Yep. No, it wasn't an expired statute of limitations, Rick James. If you've ever been in the criminal justice system, then you know that for certain reasons, the statute of limitations could be extended. And because of COVID, statutes of limitations were being extended all over the fucking country, not just for Donald Trump. There was a 6-month extension and he fell inside that statute of limitations. That's it. Stop making excuses. Just be men and say, okay, he committed a crime. Jesus Christ. Can any of you ever fucking admit when your guy is wrong? That's why we say you're a cult. Holy shit. He committed a crime out in the open, an obvious crime. Everybody saw it. We all saw the evidence. You get in trouble when you commit crimes. Fuck. I mean, you talk Hunter Biden got convicted of a felony because he wrote in a book years after he bought a gun that he had been smoking marijuana when he bought the gun. I mean, and you guys, that's not a bullshit charge to you. But this is. Holy shit. Who never went to jail? You don't have to go to jail. If you're talking about Trump, you don't have to go to jail to be a felon. You become a felon before you go to jail. Yeah, I said he was a douchebag, Jordan Carney. You didn't hear me? No, Biden was caught with documents. Why was he above the law? Call it how it is. Oh, I'll tell you exactly how. So Joe Biden had classified documents he wasn't supposed to have, just like Donald Trump. You know how you guys like to talk about how Joe Biden had him in his garage by his Corvette? Donald Trump had him in his bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. He had him all over the fucking place. He was showing classified documents to ordinary citizens. Okay? The FBI told them both, we need those documents back. Joe Biden said, oh, okay, here, and gave them back. Donald Trump refused and refused and refused because he thinks he's above the law. And then finally they raided him. Do you see the difference? You see how two things can be different, even though at face value they appear to be the same? Yeah, they both had classified documents. One got convicted. That's because only one refused to give up the documents. There you go. Joe Biden turned him over. He wasn't a belligerent little bitch about it. He is the devil. Donald Trump is just that. Is just that. Believe that. What is he? The devil? You are right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. LMAO, you really think it's that simple? Why did Trump win the Hispanic vote? Because there's stupid people in this country. What do you mean? Guys, the poorest people in this country vote for a New York billionaire, lifelong Democrat, pro-choice, by the way. And Spanish people that vote for him are just as confused as those people. Black people, too. I hate to say it. But if you vote for Donald Trump, you might be a little confused about his politics because he hates you. He does. So there's your answer. And by the way, you think he'd win it right now? Have you seen his numbers with Hispanic voters? They realize they made a mistake. They know now. Yeah, Vance is never going to be president. Even the right says, even on Fox News, they say Vance will never be president. He doesn't have the charisma. He's not, guys, MAGA doesn't transfer. Okay. You guys have never been this way about anybody. This guy has taken you in and he's brainwashed you and you will fucking die for him. No other politician's going to have you like that. I hope not, at least. He didn't even get half of voters in 2024. Yeah, he didn't. That's why I asked the guy, what proof is there that half the country loves him? He didn't even get half of the people who voted. He got 49.8%. He didn't even get 50% of the vote. And less than half the country voted. So how do we know how much of the country loves him? How do we know? I know that at No Kings rallies, the last time 7 million people showed up in one day. And the first time 5 million people showed up in one day. So what does that tell you? No, I could talk politics. I know politics in general. But right now, Trump is in office, you see. So I'm going to talk about Trump. Yes, I already have. I told you I didn't like Obama's drone policy. I thought it was horrendous. I have problems with Obamacare or issues, things I don't like about Obamacare. Biden, even though he did try to help fix the border and Trump had it shot down, he could have used certain executive orders and he didn't. He was soft on the border. So, and by the way, he should have dropped out a lot sooner. If it wasn't for that fucktard, we wouldn't have Trump in office a second time. So yeah, I'll criticize the Democrat again, guys. We are not like you. We are not. We can criticize our own. Yes, it is, RC. It is. It truly is. Well, thank you. I don't know how you Clybite? I don't know. LMAO, look at your leftist pink-haired losers and basement dwellers. We all see who ends up as a cult soul. This is what I mean. The stuff you guys have been convinced of. I've literally heard Fox News saying all liberals have blue hair and facial piercings and blah, 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 colored hair. You're so worried about colored hair. You're all fucking gay. Okay. Hair. You're so fucking stupid to even bring that up. Meanwhile, those blue-haired people are 1,000 light years smarter than you. Okay. And they're fucking more successful and everything else. Guys, it's not us that are the outcasts. And by the way, I've been to these rallies. These No Kings protests, I was at one that had 5,000 people at it. I took pictures, video. I swear to Christ, there was one girl with blue hair there. One girl. You guys are convinced. I am one of these people. How come I'm not filled with facial piercings and long hair or colored hair? Why is it? Oh, you could say I don't have hair, but if I did, why isn't my stubble blue? Why don't I fit this mold? Because most of them don't. You're told this nonsense about us. And as far as basement dwellers, listen. God almighty, I'm so tired of repeating this every show, but I'll tell you guys anyway. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to show you. Okay, and this goes to the basement dwellers part. What are the poorest, least educated states in America?
The poorest and least educated states in America are often in the South and Southwest. States like Mississippi, West Virginia, Louisiana, and Arkansas frequently rank low in education and poverty rates, often with low literacy, income, and poor public schools.
Okay. And let me give you the whole list. West Virginia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Kentucky, Alabama, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Nevada. The only one blue is New Mexico. Okay. So when you talk about basement dwellers, listen, watch this. What are the most educated, wealthiest states in the country?
Massachusetts, Maryland, Connecticut, New Jersey, and Virginia are consistently among the most educated and wealthiest states. Massachusetts often leads in education, while Maryland, D.C., and New Jersey are top in median income.
Yeah. So listen, I don't even like to get too nasty with you guys, but since you're going to make comments like that, if you're talking about basement dwellers, you do realize that the incels in this country, they're all on the right. You do know that, right? The people that actually dwell in basements and have no money and no lives, they're generally on the right. Even most of these school shooters, these fucktards have no social life, so they take an AR-15 to school and kill everybody. You know what I mean? These mass shooters, all these other fucktards. I mean, you guys are the misfits, not us. Do you ever look at a Trump rally? You're talking about blue hair? A Trump rally is like a barbecue at the shittiest trailer park in West Virginia. I mean, it's like fucking the dirtiest, filthiest scumbag people you could ever imagine. There are more people at a Trump rally than there are teeth. And you're talking about people's piercings and hair, people that are just inherently better people than you are. It just blows my fucking mind. You have such a lack of self-awareness of who your own people are. You might be somebody with a full mouth of teeth and a little money in your pocket, but the majority of MAGA isn't. Okay, so you should probably criticize your own first, but we know you don't know how to do that. You know, we know. The liberals you talk about are the more educated, successful people, period. 1968 wingnut, $5 Trump's fixer. Michael Cohen went to prison for the Stormy Daniels crap. Oh, of course. Yeah. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, because it was a crime. And Michael Cohen, he had Michael Cohen make that fucking payment so that it wouldn't be discovered. Do you understand? That's how far he went to commit a crime. He didn't pay the hush money payment. No, he had Michael Cohen do it. Because, of course, he knew very well he was committing a crime. And then he falsified business records to cover it up. So, yeah. He didn't win. He wasn't shot. He's in the files. Well said, James Jones. Hey, Schmuck, he was president month, the same two second. Is that second? These pictures of FBI were staged. You piece of shit, them scumbag. Pictures of FBI. Do you have any idea what he's talking about? Pictures of FBI. What are you talking about? Yeah. Oh, is that right? Because I honestly didn't know the stats. So he won 42% of the Latino vote. Harris won 56%. Yeah. See, makes sense. Fuentes has actual little man syndrome, which I didn't believe until I saw him. Bro, I fucking debated this guy yesterday, and this fucking guy was arguing with me that Nick Fuentes is a racist and a neo-Nazi. He was arguing with me. He didn't believe it. Barron Trump gets elected after Trump Jr. does 2 terms. You're going to be very, very disappointed when President Newsom is in office in 2029. You really are. You really are, because the Republicans are fully aware of how insanely unpopular Trump is. They know they're going to get blown out in the fucking midterms. They know it. That's why they're doing everything they can to cheat, and they'll continue to. Even the shit that's going on in Minnesota, you guys don't even realize it, but he's going to figure out a way to declare martial law and all that and say that we can't have elections. That's what's going to happen, because he knows he's going to get wiped the fuck out in the midterms. The Democrats are flipping seats all over the country. You know what I mean? They're kicking ass. So you guys like to bring up the Democrats' approval rating, but you don't like to bring up Trump's. And when you do, you only bring up his approval rating amongst Republicans, not everyone else. Well, I'm not a little guy, so it would be pretty odd if I did. Yeah, right. We Democrats have fallen so far, we're fucking dead. Why you say that? Obama's from Kenya. See what I mean? It's just a bunch of dumb, illiterate motherfuckers who just lie through their teeth. No proof of that whatsoever. Matter of fact, there's proof that it isn't true. Holman is a Nazi too. Oh, without a doubt. The only difference between the Gestapo and ICE is the Gestapo didn't wear masks. They had more balls than MAGA basement dwellers. Well, that's another thing. That's another thing. When I say they're cowards, I mean, look at this shit. You wear masks. Oh, we don't want to get doxxed. Oh, you want to kill people in broad daylight. You want to knock old ladies to the ground. You want to pepper spray trick-or-treaters. But you don't want to be doxxed because you might be in danger. That's biggest pussies. They're in my city right now, ICE. I saw a Facebook post earlier that ICE is in my city right now, literally 2 blocks from where I lived for about 7 years. And I saw the pictures of them. They're all masked up. They have masks on. Pussies. Newsom doesn't have a chance. All right. Listen, you'll believe what you want to believe anyway. It doesn't matter. You don't listen to facts or numbers or statistics or anything. You just go on vibes, you know? Why would we care about approval of Democrats? Well, people always bring up they have low approval ratings. You understand? Yeah, they're doing great right now. Yeah, approval ratings are in the toilet, but what they don't get, and I try to explain this on most of my live streams, is that they always bring up Democrat approval ratings. What they don't understand is that Democrats' approval ratings are low because of us more than anyone else. Because here's the thing. When you look at Donald Trump's approval rating overall, it's horrific. It's like 35%. Terrible, like historic lows type shit. But amongst Republicans, his approval rating 70, 80, 87%. Now, let me tell you why the Democrats' approval ratings are in the toilet and Trump's amongst Republicans are always super high. You guys, again, will never admit he's doing a bad job. You'll never admit that he's wrong. You're getting screwed right now with tariffs. Everything with the exception of eggs and gas costs more money. Unemployment is the highest it's been since COVID. The jobs numbers are horrendous, in the fucking toilet completely. He's screwing you guys over more than anybody in the blue states. His negative or his bad policies are going to negatively disproportionately affect red states. And they already are. You know, and you guys, no matter what, he could come to your house and, I got to be careful what I say. But he could do things to your wife. And the next day you'd still be like, fucking Trump, awesome. You'd have the fucking Trump flags on your fucking big redneck pickup truck and all that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing he could do to gain your disapproval. Nothing. Okay. We're different. I will. If I was called right now, do you approve of the Democrats' job performance? No, absolutely fucking not. Know why? They are the biggest pussies on planet fucking Earth. They will not stand up for their own people. They won't. I truly believe at this point the Democrats are only in place to bow down to Republicans. Seriously. They don't fight for shit. They didn't fight for the extended ACA subsidies. Nothing. Schumer's a pussy. Hakeem Jeffries is a pussy. We can't stand them. But you guys, man, you are in a cult. You are told who to love, and that's who you love. There's no changing your mind. What has been well documented? I don't know what you're talking about, Timothy. Let me get to the bottom here. No, sir. You are stupid. If you support a pedophile, it's disgusting. How dare you not care about others' feelings? Then we don't want you to assimilate. Trump hates immigrants, dude. Who are you talking to, Bon? You're talking to a MAGA person, right? Because Trump is a pedophile, and MAGA supports him, and the Republicans and Trump are the ones covering up the files for a year now. So I'm assuming you're talking to MAGA people, because I don't support no fucking pedo. Because we are smarter than you, Mikey Scott. I just gave you the fucking facts, okay? I'm sorry to tell you, but it's true. That's why you could never hang with me in a debate. I'll fucking eat you alive. Believe me, every show somebody tries and they wind up regretting it. All right? We act condescending because it's like talking to children. Do you know what it's like being fairly intelligent people who see election after election, the poorest, dumbest people in this country vote to stay dumb and poor? I mean, we talk to you like you're children because you have the minds of children. Look at the stuff you come in here and say, libtard, Democrat, rat. You know, this dumb, corny third grade shit. You can't spell, you can't read, you can't write. You use random capitals and lowercase letters in a way that makes no sense. It looks like a fucking ransom note. We are astonished that people like you exist. You don't understand. It's very hard for us to believe. When my 13-year-old stepson is light years smarter than the average Trump supporter who's 40, 50 years old, I mean, you know? Yeah, okay. Granted, I'll tell you what, stop saying I'm lying and start telling me what I'm lying about. Tell me what I've said that isn't true. Go ahead, bro. That's what you guys do. It's a cop-out. You're lying. What am I lying about? You're lying. 51% more than half. What does that mean, Juan Colon? Are you talking about the election? Because Trump did not get 51% of the vote. Is that what he's talking about? I don't know. I haven't been watching the chat. He didn't get 51% of the vote. The whole ACA is nothing but a blank check to the insurance companies. Yeah. You're right. 84 or 24 million people don't have health insurance because of the ACA. You're right. Yeah. Whatever you say. Meanwhile, you're probably on Obamacare and you don't even know it. Or somebody in your family is. Oh, didn't Biden shower with his daughter? Well, I don't know, because she said in her diary showers that were probably not appropriate when she was a child. She never said an age, so she could have been 10 days old. Now, me personally, I don't care how old your daughter is. That's fucking weird to me, but it doesn't mean you're a pedo. Because in court, since you guys, you know what's funny about you is it could be the same person, and if they say something you like, their word is gold. If they say something you don't like, they're lying. Okay, so in the diary, she said that, and you guys hang on it. You throw it in every chat. But she also said during the lawsuit, the Gawker case, under oath, that her father never did anything like that to hurt her, never molested her, never assaulted her. She loves her dad. She's with him all the time. And she said that, and these are her exact words: my words in that diary were grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context to lob false accusations against innocent people. But those words don't mean shit to you. She was lying then, right? Yeah, I bet. Here, check this out.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this blood yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, you know, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no sweat.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that.
All right, there you go. So that's him talking about wanting to fuck his own daughter, basically, stuff like that. He looked at a 10-year-old girl and said, I'll be dating her in 10 years, which means he found her attractive, you know, but, you know, there's nothing wrong there. He lied about knowing Prince Andrew, even though he's documented in pictures and shit with Prince Andrew. And nothing shady there. And Democrats covered them up for 20 plus years before that. So according to you, for 20 plus years, Democrats had the files. Is there somebody you're forgetting in there? Just out of curiosity. Because first of all, there might be two people. George Bush was president until 2009. You do realize that, right? So what 20 years are we talking about? Because Jeffrey Epstein's first bust wasn't until like 2006. And it would be 20 years now, okay? So Bush was in office for 2 years after that. And then there's this other guy. What was his name? Oh, my God, I can't remember. Oh, fuck. He was in office from 2017 to 2021. What was his name? Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump. He didn't release them either. Yeah, you always forget that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not Democrats. You assume Trump's a pedo, and that's fucked up when you got no facts, but go ahead and point out writing flaws. Okay, Juan, the Trump supporter, Juan. All right. So here we go. Donald Trump was credibly accused of sexual assault 27 times. Now, this is what you call critical thinking. Okay. Now, what you do is you're Juan. Okay. And for some reason, Juan supports Trump. Again, it's like a chicken voting for Popeyes. So you support Trump. So when you see somebody say Trump's a pedo, you just say, no, he's not, because he's my guy. I ain't having it. All right. Now, when I hear he's a pedo, I say, let me see. Before I make a decision, let me think about what do I know about President Trump? And then I go back to when I was a kid, because I grew up in Queens, okay? And anybody in New York and lived in New York in the 80s, 90s, they've always known what Trump was. But when a lot of you guys didn't even learn about him until he was on the fucking Apprentice, we knew for decades. So it's like, okay, let me see here. So he was credibly accused of sexual assault 27 times. Okay, he cheated on every wife we ever had. We know that for a fact. In 1989, he was accused of brutally raping his own wife, Ivana Trump, in court filings. Okay. In 1996, he was accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl with Jeffrey Epstein. He cheated on Melania with how many different chicks? The Playboy Playmate, Stormy Daniels. I believe there was another one. He couldn't even stay faithful to fine-ass Melania. Okay. And then he was without a doubt, with evidence provided and witness testimony, he was found civilly liable for raping E. Jean Carroll. That's just some of the stuff we know. Okay. You put that all together in your head. Oh my God, I forgot. Yes, I forgot him wanting to fuck his own daughter. Yes, in that clip you saw a minute ago, he was talking about Tiffany Trump when she was 4 years old. He was speculating about whether or not she would have big titties like her mother. That's why she said, she's got her legs. We don't know if we have this part. Why are you looking at your daughter's legs and speculating about the size of her titties? What is wrong with you? Okay. Then on The View, they asked Ivanka Trump, what are two things you have in common with your father? She said, real estate and golf. They said, Donald, what are two things you have in common with your daughter? He said, well, I was going to say sex, but I can't really say that. You just said it. Why would you say sex when it comes to your own daughter? Nobody who's not a freak of human nature, a sexual deviant, or a pedophile would ever say that. Ever. Okay? Never. But that's fine with you. If Biden said it, you would have been out surrounding the White House with pitchforks and you'd be demanding he get removed from office and all that. But Trump, it's like, okay. Then he said, I believe also on The View, she's always had a very beautiful figure. I've said that if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Yeah. Then he allowed Howard Stern to call his daughter a piece of ass and said she's always been very voluptuous, which means curvy and attractive. So this is what you call when there's smoke, there's fire. Okay. You put all this information together and you say, does this guy fit the profile of somebody who's a sexual deviant who could very well be a pedophile? Then you add things into it like, that's right. He also happened to have been best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 10 years, America's most prolific pedophile. And in a video that you just saw, he fucking wished a fucking convicted pedophile well. I just wish her well, he said. Ghislaine Maxwell, knowing she's a pedo. I wish her well. Michael Cohen's daughter, when she was 15, said he was hitting on her. All these things. Okay, now, then what do you ask yourself next? What reason do I have to believe he's not a pedophile? None. He's in the Epstein files because there's 2 million documents. We've gotten 12,000 so far, and he's already implicated in those, and 75% of them were fucking redacted. 30,000 Epstein emails came out between him and Ghislaine Maxwell and him and Michael Wolff. And his name is in them more than anyone, 1,686 times. Donald Trump. One of the emails, Epstein said to Maxwell, he knew about the girls. Another one said he was at my house alone with the victim for hours. Okay? So when you say I have no proof, what do you mean? Or I have no facts? All these things I just told you, for the most part, things I've seen him say with his own mouth about his daughters, things I've seen him say about pedos, like I wish them well, the fact that he was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, the fact that he's in pictures and videos with them and everything else, those are facts. Those are the facts. So Juan, when you say I have no facts, what exactly are you fucking talking about? Because just because you don't see them that way doesn't mean anything. You are a cult member and you are a fucking Hispanic guy who supports a guy who hates your fucking guts based on that alone. So obviously you're allergic to facts. Facts may play no part in your fucking argument. Rampage Steve, $10. Trump said he could shoot someone in the street and MAGA would support him. Well, ICE has been doing it for him and MAGA loves him more and more with each shooting. Well said. Thank you for the $10. And yes. And when he said that, what did he mean? He meant you're so fucking stupid that if you saw me commit murder in broad daylight, you'd still vote for me. That's what he was saying to you guys. When he stood in front of tens of thousands of you and said, I love the poorly educated. We won with the poorly educated. Then he says in this video right here, hold on. He's fully aware of who you people are.
Smart people don't like me, you know, and they don't like what we talk about.
I mean, guys, come on, man. Nobody thinks you're stupider than Trump does. Not even me. Not even me. You talking about me, Jason? Bro, you could call in. Let me go get my other phone. Hold on. Well, let me plug it in. It's dead. And in like 2-3 minutes, any of you who want to call in and debate, feel free. It's because most Republicans are religious and don't wish ill will on people, unlike you small brain Democrats. First of all, the most evil people I've ever met in my life are religious. Number one. Number two, you guys laugh about Alex Preddy being murdered in the street. You guys make jokes about Renee Good being shot in the face. You guys laugh when fucking little babies are torn from their parents' arms and their parents are deported without them. You guys think this shit is hilarious. You hate gay people. You hate trans people, black people, Mexicans, Muslims. You hate every fucking one. You wish ill on everybody, bro. You're a terrible person, Kevin. I'm sorry, but you are. No criminal convictions. What? Are you talking about in general? Because he's got 34 of them. But if you're talking about the sex stuff, he got found civilly liable for sexual assault, for rape. And the judge said this is the equivalent of being found guilty of rape in a criminal court. Juan, what is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Bro, you are seriously fucking confused. Like, seriously. Sherry Lee, $10. You have to watch the video of him in Houston after the hurricane. He said Melania wished she could be there, and she was standing right next to him. And he said, Melania really wished she could have been here with us tonight. She's right there. They love to talk about Biden. They totally ignore the fact that that Trump is as demented as they come, without a doubt. Yes, it's true, Ryan. It's true. Hey, don't worry about what Trump said. Wait a minute. Where did that go? Son of a bitch. Ah, fuck, I lost it. Hey, don't worry about what Trump said. You have to worry about Nazi Gestapo sending people to concentration camps because you're stupid enough to believe. No, none of us are laughing. All right. I'm not sure what you're saying there, brother. I don't know if that's to me or what. Let me see. He said the quiet part out loud. Smart people don't like me. Yeah. You know, he knows, guys. He knows, man. You don't even know. Like, you should watch the Netflix special about Roger Stone, how Roger Stone literally like trained Trump on how to run for president and what to do and say. Every move was calculated. The Mexicans are rapists comment, all of that shit. He knows who you are. He didn't run as a Democrat because we would never vote for a guy with a past like that. Never in a million years. He would have never made it through the fucking primaries. But he knows you guys don't stand for anything. You have no morals whatsoever. So you just fucking, you'll vote for a rapist. You'll vote for a guy who cheated on every wife. You'll vote for a guy who wants to fuck his own daughter. You'll vote for a pedophile. You don't care. As long as he gets those trans people out of women's sports and he deports those Mexicans, you're happy with that. Let me see. The evilness of it all. Who thinks it's okay to shoot a woman in the face? I know. Disgusting. I kept wondering why folks keep saying he isn't a convicted felon. Trump should be in jail, not the White House. Bro, people, believe it or not, man, I do these shows every day, multiple times a day. There's not a single live stream where somebody doesn't challenge me on that and say that all the felonies were tossed out. There's a large percentage of MAGA that do not know he's a convicted felon. They don't believe it. I've had to prove it. One night I had to prove it to the point where I just said, fuck it. Because every source I showed them, they said bullshit. That's what they'll do. They'll say, show me the source. You show them the source, and then they'll shoot down the source. So finally I showed it to them on Fox News. Like, uh-oh. Yep. That's your Bible right there. Let me see. Well, how MAGA leave? We love America. We will defend America, not like Dems. You don't love America. VMBLV, listen, listen to any Trump rally, okay? All the guy does is bash America. He hates it. He hates everything about it. He hates the laws. He hates the Constitution. He hates immigrants. He hates the people in this country. And you guys cheer along with every word he says. You guys see yourselves as patriots. But you're perfectly fine with overthrowing the government or overturning a free and fair election. You're perfectly fine with your guy stealing an election as long as he gets to be president. You guys are fine with cops getting beaten by scumbags such as yourselves. But then as soon as a black guy lifts a finger and gets his brains blown out, it's his own dumbass fault, right? You know, we know about you guys. We figured you out a long time ago. You don't love America. You hate the Constitution. You hate immigrants. This country is built on immigrants. You guys want Trump to run for a third term. Boom. Proof that you don't give a fuck about the Constitution. Then, since he can't run for third term because of the 22nd Amendment, you say, well, fuck that. Let's let him run as vice president. Then JD could drop out and Trump could be president. But except that's a violation of the 12th Amendment. Okay, you don't care about that either. The First Amendment means nothing to you because he's doing exactly what Project 2025 said, and he's using the military to break up peaceful protests. Okay, that's a violation of the First Amendment. Then he's taken press passes away from any journalist who asks him tough questions. Okay, he's threatening to take broadcast licenses away from any network, in which the news programs criticize him. Okay. He had 2 comedians taken off air, one temporarily and one permanently because they pick on him. And he steps all over constitutional rights. I'm not surprised that you guys don't care about any of those. But the one thing I thought you stood for, the Second Amendment, the only amendment you even know from the whole Constitution, I truly believe, no, that's the breaking point. When he comes for the guns, nope, wrong again. They don't mind it at all because you think it'll only happen to liberals. What you don't understand when Trump says he shouldn't have had a gun, meanwhile, it's his constitutional right to have a gun at a protest. Yeah, matter of fact, he has a gun while he's practicing his First Amendment right. Okay, he has the right to protest thanks to the First Amendment, right to assemble. Okay, so Trump wants to violate 2 of the constitutional amendments. He doesn't want you to be able to protest. And if you do, you better not have a gun, even though that's your Second Amendment right. And Alex Preddy was perfectly legal. He had a clean background. He had a legal gun and he had a license to carry it. And he said, I don't like that he had a gun. He shouldn't have had a gun there. Now that's it, guys. That's the beginning of it, the violation of your Second Amendment. Don't forget, Trump is the guy in his first term until he got major backlash. He suggested taking guns from people that are accused of crimes even before they're convicted. Okay? So remember, if they can take away a liberal's right to carry or Second Amendment right, they could take away yours. And I know you think Trump cares about you. He doesn't. If he did, he would not be passing legislation that hurts you guys more than it hurts any of us. I got news for you guys. Red states disproportionately, they receive a disproportionate amount of welfare funding. So when he kicks people off of the ACA and Medicaid and, food stamps and stuff like this. He's coming for you. He's not coming for all the black people in the hood like you think. Okay? That's the way it is. When he fails to extend the ACA subsidies, 24 million people lose health insurance. Many of them are you, and the rural hospitals that'll be closing are in the states you live in. And 350,000 nurses are going to lose their jobs in 2026 because of this horseshit. Maybe some of them will be you too. So just remember, if he could do it to one of us, he could do it to any of us. That's why you guys are dumb. When you said illegals don't get due process, be careful. You know how you guys like to say with the Second Amendment, it's a slippery slope. That's a slippery slope, because I got news for you. The fucking Constitution guarantees due process as much to illegal immigrants as to American citizens. So if they could take away their right to due process, we're next. I know you don't believe it because you think Trump cares about you. Trump laughs at you. He calls you stupid. He knows you're dumb. He said when you guys actually bitched for 5 minutes about the Epstein files, he said, if you're stupid enough to still want to see the Epstein files, I don't want your support. Even though he ran on showing you the Epstein files. But nothing is a breaking point for you guys. He can't push you far enough. It's amazing. No, Jordan Carney. No, they didn't. That's what I mean. Why don't you, Jordan, instead of asking me that, you got the supercomputer in your fucking hand, right? Why don't you use Grok? It's Elon's. Use ChatGPT. God forbid you use Google, because as we all know, oh my God, everything from Google is totally left-leaning. Okay. Why don't you check? Go see, and you'll find out that no, of course they didn't. Why do you think he didn't even get a fine or probation or anything? Who are you talking about, bro? For any what case? What is DEC? What does that mean? What does that mean, bro? What does DEC mean? December? What does that mean? Yeah, okay. 410-941-9851. I dare you to call me right now, bro. I dare you. Watch what I do to you, you stupid fuck. Again, bro, the roasting begins and ends with the fact that your name is Juan and you support Donald Trump. There you go. I roasted you to death. Do you really not understand that they were calling it bullshit? Yes, he was charged, but it is bullshit. Do you understand that, or do you really have that small of a brain? Again, what are we talking about, Kevin? Are we talking about the felonies? Because he was convicted of the felonies. Yeah, I know, bro. Ryan, I know. Show me Trump as a convicted felon in a criminal court. Are you serious, Juan? Has Trump been convicted of felonies in a criminal court? Oh, there you go. Trump was convicted of 34 felonies a year ago. He's still battling his case. That's from May 30th, 2025. You fucking dolt. One, you didn't actually check. You just told me to check. If you could show me where he's been convicted in a criminal court. Oh, for a sex case. Nobody has ever said that he was. Again, Juan, this is just, I think you have comprehension skills. Nobody ever said he was convicted in a criminal court. He was found liable in a civil court. Liable in a civil court. And the judge said that that's equal to being found guilty in a criminal court. You understand that? And when you guys, again, you don't even understand things like statutes of limitations. You don't get it. You don't get it. Unbelievable, Juan. I bet you won't call in and debate me. I'll bet you any amount of money, Juan. 410-941-9850. To better myself, I surround myself with my equals or better. Trump supporters don't make the cut. No, you don't want them in your life. No. He's not bullying you. He's just schooling you. He was found liable for battery in a civil court case surrounding rape. But he was found liable for sexual assault. Yeah. You libtarbs keep spreading your venom. You are a follower, and just like a good comrade, you will do anything to help bring America down. Move to Russia where you belong. It's amazing that they don't realize that they're describing themselves, not us. We don't. There's nobody we follow. There's no cult. I don't give a fuck about any politician, period. I swear to God. I mean, there's some I prefer over others, but do I care about them? No. You've been to prison. You know how we feel about sex offenders, yet we criminals know women lie. Show me where he was convicted in a criminal court for a sex crime. Bro, I never said, why would I show you something that I'm even telling you isn't true? He was never convicted in a criminal court, Juan, and never did I say he was. But Juan, you don't have to be... Listen, man, you'd be the first to say Joe Biden's a pedophile because it said he showered with his daughter. But with Trump, all that overwhelming evidence I showed you, Juan, just admit it. If this was Obama, you'd have him tried and convicted as a pedo. In your mind, it's Trump, so you say no. I've showed you an overwhelming amount of evidence that he is a sexual deviant. And let me tell you something. Sometimes shit doesn't get prosecuted. That's just the way it is. The majority of sexual assault cases are never reported. The majority. So who knows what would have happened if Katie Johnson would have brought this shit to law enforcement right after it took place? Who knows with any of these other women? Who knows? You don't know. And by the way, it ain't over yet. Juan, he's hiding the Epstein files, Juan. Are you telling me he's not? He says exactly, but Juan, what point are you proving? I never said that he was convicted of a sex crime. What the fuck is he talking about? Why is this guy? What's he saying here? What is this? Why am I giving Juan so much attention? You're just mad he don't fuck with you. Juan, it's YOU_RE. And again, bro, you're going to have to start being specific in the comments. What does that mean? You're just mad he doesn't fuck with you. What does that mean? Who? He's talking about y'all. Who's talking? Juan, let's try this again. Start over. Who's talking about us? Who doesn't fuck with us? How about this? Try this one. Try a complete statement in a comment. Okay? Try that. What's the double standard, Angela Powell? Tell me. I'll have the conversation with you. What? I don't know, bro. Everyone knows Trump is an Epstein Island child abuser. Well, he's definitely a child abuser, but there is no proof he's been to the island. But again, we don't know for sure. But so far, there's no proof. See, I don't lie on Trump. Republicans have actually moved to Russia with their families. Even one actually got put on the front line. I know that's another reason I was laughing at that comment. Some dickhead decides he wants to move to Russia because he loves Putin like the rest of you fucktards. He moved to Russia. He wanted to join the military. Putin said, don't worry, I won't put you on the front lines. And then he put him on the front lines and the guy got killed. Now his family's there without him. That is hilarious. Oh, man. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. It's hard to keep track of the chat when the insults are being thrown thick and fast. I know. Trump is like a used car salesman, except there's no car, but you do get taken in for a ride. Yeah. The latest files proved that he was on the island. Well, Captain Spock, if that's true, I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it's not, but I haven't seen anything like that. You got host nerves? Ha 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 ha. The fuck language. You got host nerves? What? Wow, I'm a Republican. I can't believe that they won't look up facts. Victor, bro, the thing about Victor, I love the guy. You know what? He's a Trump supporter, but he's a good guy. He's not a bullshitter. He will fucking, if I say something, he'll look it up and he'll tell me, even if I'm right, not just when I'm wrong. But you guys, I mean, Juan came in here, he says things and says, look it up. And then you look it up. And of course he's wrong. And you wonder, why didn't he look it up? Fucking people are nuts. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I think Juan left. He's running from that fucking phone number. He ain't calling in. What, Juan? What's exactly? He just says exactly what. So you admit you're a fucktard, right? Admit it, Juan. Say I'm a fucktard in the chat. Say I, Juan, am a fucktard. Civil is not criminal. Yeah, and nobody ever said criminal. But Juan, let me ask you something. Do you know anybody who was found civilly liable for rape? Tell me the truth, Juan. Go ahead. Do you know anybody who's ever been found civilly liable for rape? Because I don't. I don't know anybody who's ever been accused of it. But again, I guess you don't believe in where there's smoke, there's fire. Look, all rich people get lied on. Okay, tell me the other rich people who have been accused of rape. Like, I mean, like, let's, for example, was Mark Zuckerberg ever accused of rape? Nope. Jeff Bezos? Nope. Elon Musk? Surprisingly enough, no. Mark Cuban? Nope. So again, yeah, it's all rich people get lied on. And all rich people haven't been accused of sexual assault 28 times and bragged on video about wanting to fuck their own daughter and been best friends with Jeffrey Epstein and found civilly liable for sexual assault and everything else. Yeah. Juan, let me tell you something. The reason that your name is Juan and you support Donald Trump is the same reason we could show you all this evidence and you still don't get it. You are very, very, very confused, Juan Colon. I feel bad for you. I do. You are voting for your own demise, basically, and you don't even get it. Are you one of the Latinos for Trump that believes that he likes you? Is there a group you're trying to fit in with, Juan? What's going on here? Tell me the truth. What would make a Juan vote for Donald Trump? They blame white slaves black, but white just bought in Muslim people. They sales black helpers as slaves. Danny Masterson, that 70s show. Where is he now? Oh, yeah, he's a rapist. That's nice of you, Caleb. Listen, I do want to thank you guys, honestly, man. All the people that donated. Xanatos, are you still here? And Jay, the guy that wanted me to play the Mitch McConnell thing, are you still here? Guys, I really got to thank you. I mean, I usually don't get much in donations on this show. I got a Cash App. Plus, I got this. You guys really looked out for me this time. And it means a lot to me because I make a living off my other shows. And lately, things aren't going well on those. That's why I'm doing more of these now. Oh, you still want to see it, Jayan? J. Owen, I'm sorry. Boogeyman Com, what's up? Host said he's not racist. First of all, I'm not racist, but I never said that. I hate when you guys say I said shit that I never said. It never even came up whether or not I'm racist, you dildo. That's number one, but I'm not. And I don't think all Mexican Americans are against Trump. I think all Mexican Americans should be against Trump. And the ones that aren't, I got to wonder what the fuck is going. Let me ask you something, fuckface. Let me ask you a serious question. If a black guy, let's just say you got a black friend, okay? Who's a descendant of slaves? We don't have to add that part, but a black guy, right? And he joins the Ku Klux Klan. And he spends every minute telling you how awesome the Klan is. Would you say there's something wrong with this guy and he might be a little confused about what the Klan stands for? Okay, that's what I mean when I say Juan might be a little confused. Yeah, it basically is Rampage, Steve. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've never been accused of it. Nobody I know has. I don't know a single person that's ever been found civilly liable. But guess what? Let me tell you something I learned about Juan during this little live stream. If Trump is found in a criminal court guilty of rape, He'll just say that's not true. He'll just say that's bullshit, or in some way it was made up, or it's some Democrat judge, or there'll be some excuse. Juan can never be wrong, and neither can his leader. That's what we've learned about Juan. Even though Juan might be one of the most wrong people I've ever come across. Am I in Florida? I wish, Captain Spock. No. I'm trying to get there, though. Victor. Next Mob Tube show, bro. Caleb Octopath fan. I hope I'm saying it right. Canadian $2 for Sherry. LOL, she's cool. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. And thank you, Caleb. Boogeyman Com, $2. Thank you, brother. Damn. JGB, $7.99. Checking if Super Chat is working. It is. Thank you, brother. All right, I'm going to play this. Let me find this. Guys, stick around. Because I always keep my word. I said I was going to play Mitch. Hold on. I'm going to play this for Jay. And I'll tell you the truth. I don't think I ever heard it, so I want to. Oh, shit, it's long. How long is it? Wow. All right, I'll comment. Hopefully people stick around. If not, I understand. Let me just confirm for me if I'm playing the right thing here. Juan Cologne. You did that. That was you last time too, right? I got to give it to Juan, man. It shows you he's a decent guy. $10 for fact check funds. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate you, brother. I do, man.
Mr. President, these past weeks, the Senate has grappled with as grave a subject as we ever consider. A request from a majority in the House to remove the president. The framers took impeachment
Captain Spock,
extremely seriously.
That's right.
But they harbored no illusions that these trials would always begin for the right reasons.
Oh, wrong one? Wrong one? Okay. I'll fix that. Hold on. Let me just do this. Let me read some comments real quick. The things I hate most about Trumpism is that he's given every misogynistic, xenophobic, racist asshole permission to be a massive misogynistic, xenophobic, racist asshole in public. I know. I'm one and you're the two. Fucking guy. Mitch McConnell's speech after vote to acquit. Oh, okay. Okay. Good. All right. Gotcha. Guys, I might come back on at like 10ish and do another one of these if you're around. I really do want to help. Thank you guys too, man. It's awesome, bro. I very few people. I don't understand why. I think a lot of people agree with me. Very few people contribute to the show. Oh shit, that's all right.
American citizens attacked their own government. They used terrorism to try to stop a specific piece of domestic business they did not like. Fellow Americans beat and bloodied our own police. They stormed the Senate floor.
One, the majority of America didn't vote.
They tried to hunt down the Speaker of the House. They built a gallows and chanted about murdering the Vice President.
This is true. They did. I just realized it's 9:30. Yeah, I probably won't be back on. I'll just stay on for a while.
They did this because they'd been fed wild falsehoods by the most powerful man on earth.
Oh, shit. And they acquit him. That goes to show you what scumbags they are, especially this fucktard. The fucking guy's admitting that the insurrection took place because of Donald Trump, but they acquitted him.
Because he was angry, he lost an election.
Yeah, you did, Juan.
Former President Trump's actions preceded the riot were a disgrace.
Got you.
Disgraceful. their election.
No, Juan, I got it. I got it. Thank you for the 10, brother. I got it. Thank you very much. I think you're behind in the chat. You might have to fast forward or something.
The House accused the former president of, quote, incitement. That is a specific term from the criminal law. Let me just put that aside for a moment and reiterate something I said weeks ago. There's no question, none,
JGB,
that President Trump is practically and morally responsible.
He does. The two what? The two Utes. Utes. What is a Ute? I love that movie.
For provoking the events of the day. No question about it. The people who stormed this building believed they were acting on the wishes and instructions.
Yes, Caleb. I'm so sorry, bro. I was just going to say something like that because VMBLV here is still, I don't know what he's saying. Ouch, host emotional damage. Everybody's being cool. Let's chill now. It's the end of the show. There's 52 people. You know what I mean? The chat's slow. We're relaxing. Everything. Yeah, like Clayton Bigsby, Juan. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What, don't you think Clayton Bigsby was confused? Of course he was blind, but we're having a good time now. That's how every show winds down. Because in reality, the fact of the matter is, I truly believe the majority of us have more in common than what sets us apart, and we probably get along in real life. We just don't agree on politics.
And having that belief was a foreseeable consequence of the growing crescendo of false statements, conspiracy theories, and reckless hyperbole, which the defeated president kept shouting into the largest megaphone on planet Earth.
See, bro, I'm glad you had me play this, Jay. I didn't even know. I didn't even hear this. And yes, he's right, man. For anybody to say Trump didn't incite that, I mean, you got to remember something about Donald Trump, whether you want to believe it or not. Donald Trump is the biggest baby on planet Earth. If you look back through his family history, I mean, he was literally a guy that spent his whole life looking for his mother's approval, and she fucking hated him. He could never get it. Okay, it's kind of a sad story in a way. But because of that, he's always been a spoiled brat. He's always been a fucking baby. You know, I mean, if you listen to what his nephew said, I think about his there's a handicapped child in the family. I forget the whole story, but Trump cut off funds to the handicapped child and basically told his nephew, just let him die. You know, like the kid's broken, basically. He said, he doesn't even know who you are. Just let him die, basically. He didn't want to give the kid more money. I mean, Trump is a despicable human being. He tried to boycott, was it the what is it, the Emmys or some shit? I always get those award shows confused. I don't watch them because he didn't win best show for The Apprentice. So you got to understand, this is what he does. When he loses, he goes into immediate denial and everything becomes fixed. If you guys paid attention in the beginning of Sherry Lee, thank you so much for becoming a new member, bro. Sherry, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What was I going to say? When we were leading up to the election, a couple of weeks before election day, he started telling you the election's fixed. It's going to be fixed. There's no doubt about it. We're already catching people fixing the election. It's going to be fixed. Then he won. You didn't hear another word about it being fixed. Okay. He was just laying the groundwork like he did the first time. The first time he did the same thing. He laid the groundwork. It's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed. This way, when he loses, he could say, see, I told you it was fixed. But the bottom line is he's just a fucking baby. He's just a baby who has to get his way. And he can't lose. He can't stand it. He can't stand. That's why everything's fixed. If he gets convicted of a crime, bullshit charges, it was fixed. Democrat judge, I'm innocent. He gets caught on a phone call in a quid pro quo with the president of Ukraine. And he says, to this day, I heard him today say that it was a perfect phone call. He's still talking about it. What is a perfect phone call? Nobody in history other than Donald Trump has ever said those three words together. perfect phone call. And that's Trump. He's a fucking baby, and he can't stand any rejection. He can't stand people not liking him. He can't stand not winning. And he's not going to have all his supporters believing he lost, so he will incite an insurrection and put all of your lives in danger. Like, what's her face that got killed in the Capitol building? Oh, I always forget her fucking name. But that bitch deserved what she got. I can't remember her name. But it's because she was lied to. In all honesty, it's kind of sad. She was lied to by this dope, and she believed him. You know, and if dozens of you would have gotten killed there, you think he would have given a fuck? He was watching that shit on TV with a big smile on his face. There's pictures. You know? So, and if you look at the Jack Smith files, I mean, there's no question. It's been proven that Trump was fully aware that he lost the election. He admitted it to people. He knew it. He just wasn't going to let everybody else think it. Ashley Babbitt, that fucking, yeah. Yeah, it appears that way, Juan. He always kind of was. Well, not always, but when Trump did something wrong.
The issue is not only the president's intemperate language on January 6th. It is not just his endorsement of remarks in which an associate urged, quote, trial by combat. It was also the entire manufactured atmosphere of looming catastrophe, the increasingly wild myths about a reverse landslide election that was somehow being stolen, some secret coup by our now president.
Yup.
Now, I defended the president's right to bring any complaints to our legal system. The legal system spoke. The Electoral College spoke.
No, Boogeyman. Nope.
As
They're
I
not.
stood up and said clearly at that time,
He is,
the
Sherry.
election was settled. It was over. But that just really opened a new chapter of even wilder
Caleb, are you okay, bro?
and more unfounded claims. The leader of the free world cannot spend weeks thundering that shadowy forces are stealing our country and then feign surprise
All right, VMBLV.
when people believe him and do reckless things. Now, sadly, many politicians sometimes make overheated comments or use metaphors. We saw that unhinged listeners might take literally, but that was different.
I think what Jay.
That's different from what we saw.
Jay, how much you want me to play, brother? Because I think Jay's point, I think, was just that what was it exactly that he never argued that this was a Democrat hoax, or he never made the argument. He never said it was. Yeah, no. I mean, listen, that's another thing Trump does with everything. I mean, I don't know how people tolerate. The fucking guy said, he said that the Epstein files were a Democrat hoax, which is ridiculous because he also said that the Democrats are in them. So you're telling me that the Democrats said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, in say 2015 or some shit, right? They said, we're going to make up these Epstein files and we're going to put Trump in them. We're going to put ourselves in them too. For some reason, we're going to incriminate ourselves. And then we won't use them for the election. We'll let him become president, but we'll hang on to them for the next election. Then the next election comes along and they could use them against them, but they say, no. Even though we made these up, it's a complete bullshit hoax and we can make sure Trump does not win a second term. We're not going to use them this time either. Then the third election comes around and they say, nope, still not going to use them. We can make sure that Kamala becomes president, but we're just not going to. You know what I mean? Even though that's what we created these fake files for to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense, guys. I mean, listen, I think if at a time like this, when everybody's cool and chilling and stuff, I think even the people who support Trump would admit, I hope in this chat, that there is something seriously suspicious, even if you don't want to admit Trump is in them. I don't know if Juan or any of these guys would admit it, but you have to be honest and say, okay, there is something wrong. Yes, he's covering up the files. Why? I don't know, but he is. Yeah, I know, Juan. He's a douchebag. I hate Mitch McConnell with a fucking passion. They actually have it nearby in a cabinet. Boogie. The day Mitch McConnell dies, I'm going to throw a fucking party. Point. Trump is guilty for January 6th, but he was only acquitted because he was no longer president. Yes. That's the thing, man. And when people come in and say about, oh, look at all the cases, they were dismissed. Guys, they were dismissed because of the Supreme Court decision. Like people bring up the Georgia election interference case. It was only dismissed because Trump was going to be president 2 weeks later, and the Supreme Court ruled on it, the immunity thing, even though that was not he was not doing that as a duty of his presidency. I mean, they could have kept that case going. They chose not to. He's the luckiest man on planet Earth. Let's face it. He is. The guy was born with a silver spoon in his ass, okay? He's been lucky his whole fucking life. And no matter how many laws he breaks, no matter how many women he rapes, he continues to get away with the shit. But hopefully, what we see happening now to his health and stuff, maybe karma's about to give him a nice, swift kick in the ass, because there is one thing that is for sure. That man is extremely sick. I'm not just saying that, guys. Let me tell you something. My mom had heart failure since she was 52. She's had heart problems since I was a kid. When I was like 7 years old, she got her first pacemaker. Okay. And I lived my whole life in fear of my mom passing, because I saw that she had a bad heart, and it got worse and worse over time. And I saw her die of heart failure in June of 2025. Okay. And I happen to have it myself, unfortunately. I have congestive heart failure too. I've had it since I was 35. So I know I'm stupid for smoking. You don't have to tell me. And if there's one thing I could tell you, without question, I'm not a doctor, but you don't have to be. Donald Trump has congestive heart failure. Okay. And it's not good at 70 years old. Or at 80 years old. It is not. It is not. He has those gigantic ankles. I don't want to hear about venous insufficiency. Shut the fuck up. He's got heart failure. He's got those bruises on his hands where it looks like he's regularly getting blood draws, or he's getting injections of Leqembi or something. Something's going on. And he, without a fucking doubt, has dementia. I mean, there's no question about it. The third rail, I like the name, $5. The irony, people who slaughtered babies in abortion clinics calling someone else the devil. Oh, well, I never did. And I don't know if you know how abortion works, but they don't get slaughtered. I'm assuming you're talking about because of the prompt up here, right? I've never performed an abortion. I can call anybody whatever the fuck I want. And, you could look at abortion as murder. If you want. I personally don't. But anyway, guys, here, let's have some fun. Well, of course he did, Juan. Of course he did. But he didn't do it like me or you would have done it. He didn't, believe me, Juan, whatever you have in life, I don't know how you were raised. Maybe you were raised as a rich kid. I don't know. But chances are, whatever you have in life, you got on your own. Donald Trump can never say that. Never. Nothing he's ever done has been on his own without help from somebody. Nothing. Trump has bad skin, his ankles, the sleeping, the most unappreciated time, the leaning and standing, the uncontrolled farting and pooping, Trump extra sick. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, Barbara. Yep. He can barely fucking stand up straight. He falls asleep constantly. Guys, if you saw that cabinet meeting today, he ended it quickly because he said it was because it's boring. But he also mentioned that he fell asleep last time. He knew he was going to fall asleep. and he doesn't like the way it looks. No, but he is, though. Juan, he wasn't, but he is. He joined politics in about 2010, 2011 when he started calling out Obama for bullshit. Okay. And then he became the president. And there's no bigger politician in the world. It doesn't matter if you were a fucking rocket scientist, a brain surgeon, a cashier at a grocery store before you became president. Once you become president, you are a politician. Donald Trump has been in politics for at least, we'll say about 15 years now, at least. Okay, so he is a politician. He's a politician. And by the way, he was always a politician, if you think about it, because he was a slumlord, a scumbag, a grifter, a con man, a politician. Okay, same thing. Is that right? Well, listen, it's true, man. I'm sorry. Oh, addicted to Adderall? Yes, Talia. It's true. I believe that about them. If you heard the guy I had on here yesterday, guys, this guy argued that basically rape is okay. He said that I mentioned somebody who I know was very close to a tragedy took place, and he said, well, what was she? She was drunk and she fell asleep at a party, and it's like, wow, man. I mean, and then he was basically saying that they just all lie about it. Why would you believe it? They all lie about it. I mean, there's a sick thinking on that side, especially when it comes to women. And they don't want women to have control over themselves or their own bodies. That's the fact. You got to remember, these are people who still think women should all be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. Like they don't want women to have the right to vote. They hate them. They fucking hate women. That's why when I see another group that's confused, Juan, is women for Trump. I mean, again, it's like a chicken voting for Popeyes. These are all the same people who see black people suffer in Chicago because of sanctuary city politics, but say nothing on their behalf. That's just, wait a minute. What do you mean? They see black people suffer in Chicago because of sanctuary city politics, but say nothing on their behalf. What black people are suffering because of sanctuary city politics? Tell me some. Give me facts, bro. Give me like percentages. Give me facts, things that are actually happening. How are black people suffering in Chicago because of sanctuary city politics? You guys are so funny. You just throw shit like that out there. Oh my God, Barbara, it was disgusting. And I flipped. I mean, you could ask JGB in here. I lost my fucking mind, man. I was screaming at him like a fucking lunatic. I just went and laid down because I was like, I'm going to have a fucking stroke. That made me insane what he said. It was despicable. It's fucking despicable. Yeah, it was bad. There's something weird, man. Like, I remember there was a story too that another Republican cocksucking conservative judge, there was some white kid. He was a college kid, well-to-do family, right? And he took this girl out back of a party behind a dumpster when she was passed out, and he brutally, and the judge was disgusted that the case was ever brought before him. He blamed her. She was drunk, her fault. And this white kid, this college kid, he could do no wrong. No. So he gave the kid, because he had to give him something. He gave him like 6 months. And I think the kid wound up serving like just a little over 30 days or something. Yeah. And it was all because the judge, there's some people who they don't believe rape is real. Is that like how a lot of MAGA people don't believe racism is real? It's all a myth. They don't. They believe that it's just the woman's fault. She asked for it. And then after it happened, she got mad and said, oh, he raped me. That's what they believe. It's sick. It's twisted, man. And a lot of these people, they've never seen anything. They've never seen a woman suffer after something like that happen to her. They don't know, the damage it does to them and everyone around them. They don't know, Strict cycling, isn't it? Completely. Juan, shut up, man. If you stand for women, then you want Trump to release those Epstein files, and you will not settle for anything less. Juan's breaking balls. 560,000 NCAA athletes in this country, Juan, and 7 of them are trans. That's really not an issue, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. But they just say stuff. You know, it's funny. It's like they don't care about black people. They hate black people. But when they can use black people to villainize somebody else, like they can say like, you know, they hate them. They never do they want to see anything good happen to black people. Nothing but bad things. But then they're like, well, if it wasn't for all these goddamn Mexicans, these black people would be doing better in life. So really, it's just about your hatred for Mexicans is greater than your hatred for black people. I think you just talk shit for profit and aren't saying give me, but saying nothing with evidence, just spitting and trust me. 410-941-9850. Let's see what happens. The African American community has seen their property taxes rise. It's gotten so bad that they even started a movement called Flip Chicago Red. Look it up. So in that one city, so let me get this straight, the third rail. So you care about Chicago now, right? Isn't it the same place that you cite constantly about the number of shootings and murders and stuff like that? Now you're all of a sudden you're worried about the black people there. Yeah, I gotcha. You ain't seen those black folks all over YouTube complaining about sanctuary cities? No, I have not. But we believe me, we watch different. Our algorithms are different. Believe me, started off okay in a normal debate. Then he spewed that crap about women. His wife would have given him a bashing if she heard him. Yeah, he was fighting with his wife. It was hilarious. Juan, I've been on YouTube since he came out, and I thought it was neat. I've never seen one video like that. Can you name a channel? Yeah, I'm curious. If Trump was in The Sopranos, he'd be Livia Soprano because he's always whining. Oh, strict cycling. That's hilarious to me. You have no idea how funny that is to me because, well, something personal, but you're right. And if you're a fan of The Sopranos, just to let you know, I've interviewed several of them, and those videos are on my channel. If you go to my playlists and look at my interviews, you'll see I've interviewed Robert Fionaro, who played Eugene Pontecorvo, the guy that hung himself because he couldn't move to Florida. I've interviewed AJ, Tony Soprano's son. I interviewed Vincent Piazza and Joe. That's going to sound bad because I forgot his name. Joe Perino, I think. That were both in The Sopranos. Yeah, I've interviewed some. Juan, you know that's all fake, right? Is it really? Oh, yeah? Huh. Flip Chicago Red. Wait a minute, bro. Yeah, this is nonsense. Yeah, Juan, come on, man. Tell me how many trans athletes have been affected by trans men and women's sports. Chicago will never flip red. No, and if you look at this, you want to hear something from Chicago flips red? Whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, whoever wins the presidency usually has a hard time in the midterms. If we, Republicans, lose the midterm, you lose many of the assets we're talking about, many of the tax cuts we're talking about, and it can lead to very bad things. These are Republicans, bro. These are not like Democrats who have had it with sanctuary cities and now they're trying to flip Chicago red. These are Republicans who hate sanctuary cities and they're just using this bullshit as a way to flip Chicago red. There are real looking black people. That's something. What's the channel and title, George? Flip Chicago Red is a bunch of African Americans. I saw the interview with the black woman named P. Ray. The black people for Trump are hard to watch. They are so deep in old propaganda. Yeah, I know. And again, they don't make sense. No. He only won 49.8% won. He only won 49.8%. Believe me. He only won by 2 million votes. And you got to understand that there was other people running. It wasn't just him and Kamala. That's why he didn't get 50% of the vote. Look, this isn't left versus right anymore. This is America first versus communism, socialism, and Marxist Democrats. Yeah, these people, I don't even know if this is real, but if they are real, they're just black people who hate Democrats and most likely other black people. Yeah, it's a grassroots movement led by black activists aims to reshape Illinois politics. I mean, that's what... This is not what you think it is. What do you want me to Google, by the way? Here you go. If this is what you were talking about, Juan, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you, but Trump won the national popular vote with a plurality of 49.8%, making him the first. Now, this is funny, too. The first Republican to win the popular vote since George W. Bush in 2004. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The only Republican president since Bush in 2004 was Donald Trump. What do you mean the first president since George Bush? So in other words, the first Republican president since the last Republican president. Gotcha. Yeah, it's 49.8%, Juan. I told you. Can't be, how ignorant? What are you talking about, third rail? Oh, unknown is out. Good night, unknown trader. Why do Trump voters have no regrets? Because the people they hate are getting hurt more. That's all it's about, man. It's built on hatred. All right, guys, listen, I got to get going because I got a lot of shit to do. And I don't think I'll be back on. You never know, though. I'm nuts, so anything's possible. But it would have to be pretty soon, so I doubt it. So thank you guys for everything, and I will be here tomorrow. So please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you then. Good night, guys.